Oh god, my bandwidth. What the fuck? Okay. Hello, August. Welcome. You are first. That is true. You're first to see and witness frame drops. Real bad frame drops in the new place. Isn't that lovely? Oh, there it goes. Okay. I don't know why those are happening, but they are. And it's just something that we're gonna have to deal with today. Oh boy. Okay. Request the call if it shuts off. Off. Okay. Sorry, everybody. Hello. I am doing many things now. Trying to get this all set with bad internet right now, which is great. I don't know why it's going bad. It's the same internet. It's just in a new spot. And that's all it is. Second hello, bros. Hello, Timothy. Let me hope and pray that this fucking works. There we go. Might be a little bit of troubleshooting in the beginning, but hey, when is a TableTalk stream without troubleshooting, eh? When does that ever happen? Barely. Barely is the correct answer. Stop going into the red! Bad internet is the best internet? No. I disagree. Wholeheartedly. I'm also just trying to make it all work. What is this? Okay. Did the Wi-Fi stop the show last time? No. So last week I was just extremely tired. And I just couldn't do anything. It was it's been a process to move everything into the new place, as I'm now in my new home. And it just, that plus everything else that was going to be that I was going to be doing that week, I needed a day. So hopefully you understand. Also, let me know if you can hear my my AC unit in the background. If it's too annoying, I'll shut it off for a little bit. But it's so I don't die of heat. Also, the internet is bad again. Very cool. Loving that. Loving to see it. Wondering about it. So while we're doing this, I'm just gonna be, while we're in the pre-show kind of thing, I'm just gonna be attempting to figure out what the fuck is the problem. Yeah, because my internet is not doing what it should be doing, which is going fast with the upload. Even though I have so much upload speed, holy fuck. Oh, well, there goes all of my upload. Awesome. Very cool. No updates to to OBS, so this shouldn't be that issue. That makes sense. Hopefully things are going smoothly with the move. I appreciate that. No, they are. I just am hoping that my internet just allows me to do things correctly. That's all. So, again, apologies for the drop frames today. It is the way that it's going to be, unfortunately. I am going to maybe just change the output down to 4,000. Hope that that helps a little bit to make it a little bit easier, I suppose, on my internet, even though it doesn't need that. But, yeah, we'll see how it goes. Both the other boys, they shall be here later on, potentially. We shall see how that goes. There goes my connection again. So I have to refresh this room of this. Oh, cool, yeah. That's what I want. That's gonna be very loud, isn't it? Yes. No, stop with your advertisement. Are you fucking kidding me? Thank you. Yeah. Okay. God, I don't know how this is gonna go with the watch together, either. I may have to call my internet company, my ISP, and get this working. I don't know. Actually, what I'll do in the background here is go onto their site and hopefully get something to happen. So, apologies if I go away for a little bit. Because I'm trying to get this to work. Oh, God. There we go. Episode 150 Wi-Fi meltdown. Dude. It's insane. I mean, to be fair, I haven't had the internet here for more than 4 hours at this point. So, shouldn't be like this, but hey, what am I gonna do, I suppose? Other than deal and tell them, yeah, I don't want to make any changes. Yeah, if I reset the device, I'll fucking lose my internet entirely. I don't want that either. No, okay. We're good. I'm just gonna have to deal with it, that's all. Maybe as it continues to be, it'll fix itself and just be consistently okay. That's the hope. That is the hope. Otherwise, I'm just gonna be annoyed most of the time. Which is great. What?
Hello.
Hello. How's it going?
Good. Tired, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's fair. I'm trying to deal with fucking internet being weirdly inconsistent, so.
Inconsistently weird.
Yeah.
Oh, did you see that fucking meme that I posted?
Which one?
The crabs. I think it's in.
Oh, I
just
didn't
the
watch
shitters.
it. I saw that you posted it, but
Yeah, you ought to watch just like the first one because you can see what it's all about. It's only like 10 seconds. It's just a meme.
Sure.
But they're absolutely cursed.
I can't do it from here yet. So
okay.
I'll watch it after. No worries.
Yeah, that's fine. And I'm like, fuck, I hate that I find these funny because they're fucking awful.
That's fair. That's fair enough. Some bad advice might be about handling bad Wi-Fi. Yeah, that's fair. You got this, dude. Yeah, thank you. I'm trying. It's out of my control, really, but I'm trying.
I'm putting together my Death Leaper. I got his base done.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, he's
That's
really fucking weird to put together, like him and his base, because his bio cape winds up going up underneath his feet in certain spots.
That's
so
weird.
you can't just put him on the base. He's got to be standing on shit. So I had to build some shit for him to stand on.
Gotcha.
And I've finished the vast majority of my Harridan. I've just got to put the guns on him and find out about this gargoyle transportation birthing sack that I want to put on him.
Cool.
Oh, hello.
Oh, hello. You have missed my screaming at my internet a little bit, and apparently it's now doing better. It's actually green all the way so far, so let's just hope that continues.
So, is stream live?
Yeah, stream has been live for a few minutes now, yeah.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
I already said to you, hi to you, boo. Fuck you.
Oh. Well, I mean, you said everybody, so, you know.
That's true, you did say everyone.
Everyone minus you two.
Oh,
there we go. Okay.
There you go, okay. You just gotta be...
gotta be more specific.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will give you that, I do.
Fair enough.
Also, I'm going to be playing a couple missions of Deep Rock, and then I'm going to be doing some painting while we do this.
No worries.
You know, I might be down for Rock.
Well,
he's down for Deep Rock.
You guys do whatever you want to do, I suppose. Since I have to run the rest of this shit, I guess.
He's got to run the podcast.
There is nothing stopping you from hopping in right now.
Oh god.
No.
Yeah, actually, Aiden, I was able to get the mods are working, so we can do the easy shit now.
Oh, sick! Fuck yeah! I hate having to try. I just like winning.
Yeah, and I mean, when we want to try, I can turn on Tyrannid Horde mode because that is also functional in this mod, this season.
The only concern I have with turning on Tyrannid Horde mod is that it might require a bit more, like,
effort.
Mentally, yes.
Yeah, no, I don't mean right now. I just mean whenever we want to.
Ooh, Cody.
Yeah, so, thank you for spoiling it. Yes, today...
It's in the title.
No, it's not.
It could be reasonably assumed.
No,
whose video are we watching today? Like,
we're watching.
I have no idea.
We're watching. We're returning.
Maybe I'm lying, and this is Garibay all along, and I just wanted to red herring the viewers.
We're watching a more recent Cozy video.
What?
Hey,
dude,
I know.
I never would have called that.
I know. No one would have known.
It's a good thing nobody spoiled it.
Yeah, it's a good thing. No one said anything
we like
about
surprises,
it. Yeah, everybody
especially
loves
when they involve
surprise.
This shitter.
That's right. Yeah, today we're going to be looking at a video from Cody saying bad dungeon master advice and better opinions, or options, excuse me, instead. Opinions. Better opinions.
Nobody's known for.
But,
nice try.
To be fair, this could be a slam dunk, right? It could be so easy, okay?
Yeah,
he just
honestly,
needs to find...
I have faith.
Yeah, he just needs to find something that's really ridiculous, right? Over the top. And just go, no, that's okay.
No, don't
right?
do. Honestly, what we want. It's funny that you mention that and word it this way. Yes. Essentially, what we want him to do is do the obvious, easy straw man bullshit.
Yes. Because then I can just go, who are you talking about, Cody? You're at least correct about this one person, but
yeah. But this person unfortunately does not exist.
Does not exist, right? Exactly.
It would like me telling you that Yogg-Sothoth isn't the strongest fucking Elder God.
Right, yeah.
We all know that.
Exactly.
There are people who actually think that he's the strongest one, stronger than Azathoth, and I'm like, dude,
wait, really?
Yep, there are.
Oh.
I can explain why that's not true, but
Well, I would imagine that. I mean, just off the bat, I would think that Azathoth would be the strongest, right? Just because of what he is.
Well, the
Right.
people think that Yogg-Sothoth can be stronger because he controls all of time and all of space.
Yeah,
So,
but you can't. But he destroys that.
exactly.
But Azathoth destroys everything.
It's not even just that. He's actually above it and beyond it.
Yeah. Okay.
Which I can explain more, but it would take effort.
Yeah,
And
I
I
gotcha.
don't know if we want to expend that right now.
No,
maybe
you're
during
good.
an intermission or something.
Yeah. I mean, I only have this one video planned for right now. So we can talk more about whatever afterwards. It's good. But let me see. There's a couple other things. I finally stopped coughing all the time, and now I'm hiding from a fresh cold. Got the night off though. Hey, good for you, Lux. Night off is unrelated to the cold. Oh well, fair enough. Hey, at least you got the night off though.
From the cold, yes.
Yes, from the cold. To acknowledge your first overlord. That's right. August was here first. Everybody knows. Everybody will know. The one-man tech army, Alejo. Yeah, it's me. Hello. I'm not stressed about it. I promise.
Tech priest.
the lone engineer chanting over his computer. Yes.
Yep.
Hello, it is me. Thankfully, again, I don't know why it was so bad in the beginning, but now I'm just consistently over the kilobytes I need, so that's awesome. Cody, ooh, yes, and full table tonight. Hell yeah, that's right. Hell yeah, it's been a little bit. But
Fellas, I returned.
Welcome back. You're in it's perfect timing. Let us go over to this.
I had to prepare my supper.
Understood. Absolutely. I had a couple of sandwiches earlier, so I am all good.
I had some spicy Sicilian meatballs.
Ooh, that sounds really good.
They were very good.
Fuck.
I got like a $60 steak at Costco the other day because they were selling American Wagyu for like real fucking cheap.
Hell yeah.
Ooh.
And I also made some like chimichurri tonight, but I used far less oil.
I don't know what that is. Please inform me.
Basically, you take like a basic chimichurri recipe would be like 2 cups cilantro, 1 cup parsley, quarter of a red onion, 8 cloves of garlic.
Oh wow.
And then like a cup of oil.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Now you can keep chimichurri for like quite a while because you know it's oil.
Right.
But like the problem I had when I made it a few days ago was that because it's oil, it wicks and gets all over the place. And fuck that.
Yeah.
So I made my a very dry chimichurri with like I only added a few splashes of oil to it. Gotcha. And I am like tearing off bits of meat because like the steak that I got was fucking huge, and this is my 3rd day eating off it.
Hell yeah, dude. That's awesome.
Must have been a big fucking cow.
Yeah.
Dude, like I've got photos of how big it was.
Cool. Yeah, I've been my family, we would usually get there's a farmers market in the town that my mom lives in. And there's a farmers market here too, actually. I don't know if they do the same thing, but I'll have to check. But there was there are some farmers who sell cows, like full cows, right? Like all the meat that you can get from a cow. And my mom would
the live cow or just
no, just already cut? Yeah, already cut and put into bags and stuff, right? And so my mom would get a bunch of would get a full cow, basically worth of meat, and we'd be living off that every day for like a year, dude. So I'm really hoping that at some point maybe I can invest in that. It's a lot, but
living the fucking medieval serf
lifestyle.
Exactly.
Yes.
Chad medieval serf.
Yes. Let me turn you guys up a little bit. I'm just trying to find. How do I sound to you guys, by the way? I don't.
Sound fine.
Okay, cool. Because I have
Just
my
like
mic
your
in a
D&D
different
campaigns,
position.
It's fine.
What?
I said just like D&D campaigns, they're fine.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, no background from my fan or anything. Not fan.
Nope.
Really?
You sound totally clear.
Oh,
Yep, I can't
fuck
hear a
yeah.
thing.
Okay,
It's
I
just-
cannot die in my room, in my office. Fuck yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Pictures are live.
Ooh, that's fucking huge, dude.
Dog, like the steak was like $60.
Jesus.
That's a lot of
3
that's
days
a lot
worth of that?
dimes, man.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Cool.
So I have that and a very basic fruit salad.
Nice.
Mm.
Yeah, I need to get salad greens. I just have peppers, which I'm going to eat at some point. Um,
Chop them up and have a pepper salad.
no. I'm just gonna eat them as is.
Coward.
No. I eat them like apples, dude. I'm a weirdo. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's also acceptable.
Thank you. See, Aiden.
Oh no,
someone
no,
else.
see,
no, I know.
No. See, that's a joke.
Mm.
I can't eat cooked peppers or fucking raw peppers. I
really?
hate them. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
I
gotcha.
love the taste of like jalapeno flavored things and
Ooh, hell yeah.
stuff like that, but I do not like peppers. I don't know what it is.
How are you with spice in general?
Oh, I love spices and spicy things. Absolutely love them. I just can't do the pepper vegetable or fruit or whatever.
The chimichurri that's pictured had like 2 cups cilantro and 2 fucking whole jalapenos. And I forgot to buy jalapenos tonight. And
so now you know what I can do. I apologize. I can do. You know how when you get a burger with jalapenos in it, and they have like the little pickle chip sized jalapenos in them.
Yes.
Yep.
I can do those.
Yeah.
Yeah, because ordinary. I just really hate the taste of pepper flesh. That's what it is.
Okay, interesting.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I strongly dislike green peppers, but as I've gotten older, I've come around on red and slightly coming around on orange peppers. Like, if they're in a dish, I don't shy away from them, but I don't seek them out either.
Yeah, that's what I am with mushrooms now.
Gotcha.
I didn't used to like mushrooms, and now I just don't mind them.
My fucking frames are dropping. Awesome. Yeah, love it.
Character growth.
Yeah.
This is the degradation arc or something. I don't
That's
know.
right. Yeah.
Speaking of arc, Aiden, have you seen any of the new Jujutsu Kaisen?
Yeah, I have, brother.
Holy shit! Did you see episode 3?
No.
You watch it. Holy shit.
Does it have a good shot of Gojo's eyes?
Yes, multiple.
Hell yeah! Oh, hell yeah!
It has a great shot in it. Fuck, dude.
Jujutsu Kaisen, isn't that?
It's the one where they're going around like fighting cursed spirits, and the characters are so well written, and the action is great, and fucking it's just amazing.
Gotcha.
Basically imagine. Oh, there's a squad of 2 guys and a girl. Imagine if they did Sakura correctly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where Sakura isn't this annoying, insufferable shitbag, and instead she's actually like strong and competent and fucking awesome and just as badass as the guys.
Gotcha.
Yes.
It's awesome.
And then so I'm going to say a statement, and I want to I want you to reserve judgment until I say the full thing.
So wait, me or him?
To Alejo.
Okay.
The anime is set in a high school, but when I tell you that the high school part is like tertiary or even quaternary to the plot.
Sure.
Like, it is literally just about killing the evil spirits.
Sure. Yeah, that sounds. I mean, that's fair enough, right?
It's very good.
Okay. It'll be on my list.
Yeah, because it's not like how you didn't like Durarara. There's not much of a because I know you didn't like the thing where you knew who the bad guy was basically
like
the whole
immediately.
time.
Yeah, it was so annoying.
Yeah.
That being said, though, Itadori Yuji, the main character, is a little bit of a Mary Sue.
Okay.
Yeah, he is. But he's still fun. That's the thing.
Gotcha. Yeah, I guess the thing about it is if you can rope me in with a good character that I can care about, I can overlook some stuff, right?
There are many.
Right, exactly. So like, you know.
Yeah. So definitely recommend it whenever you have time.
Yeah.
If all you need is a good character, you might like Chainsaw Man. Aki is like a really like cool character.
I've heard a lot of good things about Chainsaw Man. I've just yeah.
Don't watch the anime.
Okay.
Don't watch the anime.
Okay. Anyway, a lot of things.
They turn Aki into a Bishi boy, and he needs to be a soggy paper towel of a human being.
Okay.
Okay then.
You having a power bar for your new ripped bod, Aiden?
I am eating like I have like a leftover hunk of steak. And I'm holding it in both hands and like eating it like
a Monster Hunter character.
Yeah.
Minus the bone.
There you go. Do that for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, sorry. I was doing other things.
Yep.
Here finally. Hello, Drac McCracken.
Don't worry, we can help you stall.
I found it easier to just eat the peppers on their own. Peppers are easily more enjoyable than kidney stones. That's true.
Yeah,
fair. Herbs and spices are my jam. I got a bunch of spices now, so I'm excited to finally be able to use them. Should have bought some for the week when I was at the store. You know. I have Kaizen 2 on my list. I'm waiting for all of it to come out. There you go.
You should. Okay, so I used to be the same way. You should watch at least season 1 because that's all the way out. It's 24 episodes. That way you can decide whether or not you want to stick around for the whole thing, because I imagine it'll probably take some time.
That's fair.
I don't know how long the manga is, though. So.
That being said, Jujutsu Kaisen 2's plot is like divorced from Jujutsu Kaisen's 1 plot.
I think it is for now, because if you look at the poster for it, it shows the characters that are appearing in these first episodes and then the normal characters. So I think it's just going to be like a flashback, and then it's going to get back to the main plot. I think. I don't know.
Alejo, when
Hello.
this stream is over, I'm going to ask you what type of girl is your type. And there is no right answer, but there is one wrong answer.
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. I will forget about this and then not be prepared and not know how to answer this later. Anyway, I have over 50 anime on my list, so I don't know when I will get to it. Oh, I'm with you, Timothy. Not just anime though; it's just everything. I have too much on my list.
He's got a list of everything.
I was recently told about Driving Miss Daisy, an old 80s movie, I think, that I really actually do want to watch because I was told about it, and I was like, oh. And also Fried Green Tomatoes, another one that I do want to watch.
Someone at my work recommended Zom 100 to me.
I don't know what that is.
Like it is imagine like a bucket list of 100 things you want to do before you die.
Oh yeah.
Except it's 100 things you want to do before you get eaten by a zombie.
Oh, gotcha.
It's actually like the use of color is really interesting in it, and at times it's kind of cute.
Gotcha.
Okay.
I started watching Black Lagoon.
Nice.
Gojo is the goat.
Yep.
Yeah.
Black Lagoon is great. I saw season 1. I also saw the Kaizen movie.
Gojo is so powerful, he kind of does invalidate the danger of the plot, though.
You don't want to watch either of those movies? What do you mean?
It's only really when he's around, though.
Yeah.
Because there are entire plots where they're like, okay, we have to work around this guy, and we specifically need to keep him out.
Yeah.
And so there are still moments where there's like, oh shit, they're actually in danger.
Gojo can only invalidate the threat if he's not off somewhere like drawing dicks to piss off the businessman.
Yeah, pretty much.
Zom 100 is I heard is alright, not for me though. Zom 100 is on my list. Okay.
Actually, let me correct that. Not drawing dicks, drawing micro dicks. Piss off.
Yeah.
Man.
Oh. Okay. Oh, I had a character on RP forum named Zom around 10 years ago. Hey, there you go.
Nice.
Okay. Let's get to the actual video section here, and we'll hope that the stream stays pretty okay in bitrate. So, this is Cody. It's been a long time since we've covered a Cody video, and I figured that it's been 2 years?
Something like that.
Something like 2 years.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
It has been a minute, yeah. And so, I saw this, and I was like, you know what? 150. It's been a while. Let's do something that's a little special. Let's see how Cozy's doing. So,
a little special, but not that special.
Right. It's not that special, but it's it's a little special. So this is Taking 20 for those of you who don't know Cody. And this is bad Dungeon Master advice and better options instead. Only 16 minutes. We'll see how this goes.
Yeah.
So, guys, I came across a Twitter post that kind of made me cringe with some advice for Dungeon Masters. And look, this isn't an attack video or something, okay? This is not about the person who made the comment, because I saw that this particular Twitter post had kind of like blown up in the D&D 5e community, and there were a lot of people supporting and echoing this advice like it was something to be championed for DMs running games of Dungeons & Dragons. Okay, so for the second time, all right, I want to reiterate that this isn't an attack on this individual, and I don't think...
I assume just because he's got to be careful now.
He's got to be very careful now. He's got to really air that shit out. It's like, I'm not trying to be a dick. I promise.
I promise, okay, guys? I promise. It's like, yeah. We get it.
Yeah. That being said, though, I kind of respect it.
Yeah.
I respect once if you really need to. But other than that,
yeah, it does get a little excessive.
Yes, exactly. I think it's just you do it once, people are gonna either pay attention or not. And then it's out of your hands at that point. It's gonna be out of your hands regardless. So,
I think that this young individual is a terrible DM, and I would ask you guys not to hunt down this post and harass anyone about it. Okay, seriously, please be cool, YouTube community. But let me show you guys what this post said, and I want to talk about why this is really...
Honestly,
it's one of the worst...
I'm willing to bet that, like, through all that preamble of him being like, this isn't an attack! You shouldn't go and blah, 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 blah. I'm willing to bet that this is just some of the most benign shit ever.
It might be. Yeah, it very well might be. I don't.
That would be really funny.
We'll see.
The actual tweet. The whole point of D&D is having fun.
Yeah,
right?
Goes, don't support that.
Yeah.
No, that's not something that he would go against because he's beer and pretzels guy, remember?
Yeah.
The only person who would draw issue with that is Garibay, who would call it toxic.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Gojo is the teacher. It makes sense he is strong. There you go.
Oh, he's
even in universe, he is like a demigod.
Yeah. But let's focus on this for now.
Yeah. I keep forgetting he doesn't look like Cody Travers from Final Fight. Fair enough. Be a good boy, Cody. I mean, Corey. Yes, I remember that meme. It's cozy. Corey was also, I think, at some point. Somebody said that.
I think that was one of them that said,
somebody called him Corey at some point. That is true. I don't remember who. Anyway.
Yeah.
Worst rookie mistakes I think you can make as a dungeon master at the table. And then I want to give you guys some better alternatives to approach this situation and issue instead. Okay, so here is the advice to dungeon masters, and here's what it said. Dungeon masters out there who get upset when your party kills your baddie too fast, just double their HP mid-fight. Who's gonna know? No one's gonna know. Okay.
I as someone who has done this, I would like to weigh in.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah. I did this in my first campaign with I think my third boss. And I would like to say that I have grown as a DM,
Mm,
and I no longer believe in punishing my players for their success.
yeah, that's
I
kind of where I'm at with that too. Yeah.
I instead prefer, like, in my DMing style, I like to throw neat gimmicks.
Mm.
Like, I actually have a do you remember, Alejo? I was talking about a god of the plague,
I do.
and
Yeah,
and how his paladin was going to be resuscitated at current year.
Yep.
I've been tossing around off and on a like a game design for like a while now. Granted, it's been a couple weeks since I've even thought about this, but one of the ideas that's occurred to me has been if you get like if he successfully attacks you, you roll a con save,
Sure.
and if you fail the con save, you take a -1 to everything.
Mm.
HP, AC,
Oh,
Dex bonus,
Sure.
Yep.
Strength.
yep, everything.
Yeah. And if it ever hits at -10, you die.
Yeah, makes
Okay,
sense.
yeah,
You're withering
yeah.
away to
Yeah,
a
yeah,
like
absolutely.
insane plague.
Yeah, and that's literally the point of this god is
Mhm.
that it's a god of death, disease, and wasting.
Okay, so it's similar to Nurgle, but the exact opposite in terms of end goal.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
He is this quote unquote god, I guess, is more or less a crystallization of the emotional energies of people's dread.
Okay,
Um
cool.
and I have a few different gods, but in this iteration of the universe, that happened to be one of people's dreads as society was forming.
Hmm.
But
So,
yes. So, I was gonna say to get back to doubling HP.
Go on, Alejo.
Oh, I thought there was more to your thing.
Oh,
Your anecdote.
No.
Oh, okay.
Doubling HP bad. I've done it. Don't do it. It feels really unsatisfying. Do bosses with gimmicks and cool terrain.
There you go.
So now I'll be the other side of this.
Sure.
I believe I have done this before. This isn't something that I just do willy-nilly every time, because obviously you guys got away with suplexing my lich.
Yeah.
I don't just do it.
Go ahead, double its HP. It don't matter, bitch.
Yeah, it's still getting choked out. I wouldn't do this just to make the fight harder. I would do it if it seemed as though the fight was going to wind up being anticlimactic. Like, if I built up this boss for, like, weeks or months of real-world time, and then you actually just got some crits, and then it's like, well, he's gonna die in one round. I need to give him more health. Because otherwise, here's this boss that's been built up and up and up and up, and it's just gonna fall like that. That's not gonna be satisfying for you guys. It's gonna feel very out of character or out of whatever. So that's why I would do it, but
Yeah. Do it as
That's
a way
my
of preserving.
reason.
Do it as a way of preserving the story.
Yes.
Yeah, I can obviously I can see both sides of it. And I have done it, and I don't think I've done it recently, but then again I haven't really run anything that requires HP necessarily recently. To that kind of degree, right?
Yeah.
The thing that I'm doing right now, well, I won't talk too much about it because some of the players are around and will watch this. So, but HP isn't necessarily the first thing on my mind for Delta Green specifically. Either you do enough or you don't, or it matters or it doesn't. You know, just kind of how it works. But I also think that if you try and double it in the middle, it can be better for a story, but it can also make it so that it might maybe last too long, I suppose.
Well, see, the thing is, that's where you have your second tool. If it winds up looking like it's going to take too long,
Take
then
some
just cut
HP
the
away.
I mean, that's fair.
Then you just be super fluid with it. If you're already willing to double it,
That is fair. That is fair. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Because that's another thing that I've heard of, where instead of you even working with HP, you have your players roll damage and all that, but you essentially just have like hits. So if a player does a crit and hits for like 24 damage or something, I don't know.
Yeah.
The boss has taken 1 hit, and the boss requires however many hits to die.
Okay.
That's another way to do it, although that's a weird one.
Yeah.
So I kind of did a modified version of that in my first campaign. I did meaty hit points. So
meaty hit points, you said?
Meaty.
Yes. Okay.
So like if a boss takes 1 or 2 damage, like I would just pretend like, oh, the boss took 2 damage. I wouldn't detract hit points.
Yes, it needs to be a big enough hit.
If they take like 15 or so damage, I'm like, yeah, that's some good numbers, and I would mark that down as like, that kind of feel a little bit rough.
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay. And I had a bit more success with that, but ultimately I think it was just kind of a crutch of mine before I knew how to properly balance encounters.
That seems like it actually could do away with the whole cat killing the 1 HP wizard.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. I see what you're saying.
You know how you get scratched by a cat, it does 1 damage,
yeah,
1 HP wizard dies to a cat.
Right.
So, a cat scratch shouldn't realistically cause a full damage.
Yeah, well, I feel like in that kind of respect, if you're going to even have a cat do damage, it won't like hurt them,
Yeah, it's just that in rules as written, it says the cat does like 1d4.
Yeah, that's the thing about it, right? Raw, it's always going to be a little weird, right?
Yes.
But I think that
goofy, one might say,
a little goofy, yeah. And as I continue to battle with the bandwidth here, I think that the mark of when you've kind of gotten into your groove is to find and be more fluid with raw, right?
Yes.
You're able to take what's there and just kind of tweak it however works for you and your table. And so I think with HP that's also a thing, right? Either you've gotten things to the point where you know how the party is going to react and how they're how much damage they have potentially to do, and you can kind of stat it out accordingly, or you're a little more fluid with it, right? You figure out hits, or you figure out, oh, okay, it doesn't feel narratively satisfying at the moment, right? You have both of these kinds of things that you can do. And I think there's nothing wrong with either, and I don't think there's anything wrong with kind of sticking more to the specific guidelines of the rules either. Because at that point, you're playing the game as the game was made, right? Again, it might not be as satisfying in certain circumstances, but at the same time, you can kind of build around that, right? You can plan for that, or not plan for it, but react to it, right? And make your story kind of molded by it and around it.
Not to mention, if you tell your players flat out, we're playing fully raw, so they're like,
Sure.
oh shit, okay, so we're doing it like exactly by the book, and that actually that would create a whole interesting dynamic all its own, just because not many people, I would say very, very few people now play fully raw, because it kind of is the hallmark of the game that you can play it however you want, and you don't have to follow the rules 100%.
Yeah.
By the way, actually, a question for the table.
Oh.
The table can't talk, but we can answer.
Yeah, we can answer
Okay.
for the table.
Hopefully this will prompt both a discussion and perhaps some discourse. When you guys are balancing an encounter and like with ostensibly a boss,
Sure.
or even it could just be some jobber enemies.
Right.
Do you look at the numbers of their AC and HP, and do you go, oh, okay, so they average 13 damage a round, which means that this enemy will last roughly 3.5 rounds. This enemy will last 2 rounds. Or do you just go, that number looks good. That's a big number.
The second one.
Yeah,
All right, that's what I do.
I was gonna
Because
say,
like I kind of take memories of how you guys like how you perform in previous encounters and be like, okay, they were able to consistently hit things at an AC 17, so let's make this tougher enemy like an AC 19.
yeah,
Okay,
something like
that's exactly what I do. Okay.
Yeah. That makes more sense. It's been a while since I've had to worry about stat blocks like that, so I don't have anything fresh in my mind. Yeah, I would think.
But Alejo, you're fresh. Everything in your mind is thus fresh.
Oh my god, thank you.
Honestly, the most trouble I have with shit is health.
Yes. Yeah.
Health and also their abilities and their damage. Like, it's so hard for me to know, like the very first fight that we did in Devils and Dice was Muzzrin.
Yes.
Muzzrin was in that arena fighting 2 goblins.
The 2 goblins, yep.
And he nearly died. I'm like, oh shit, I didn't want to nearly kill you with that.
Yeah.
Because, like, it's meant to just be like a little bitch arena fight. You start out and they give you easy shit, and then you build up to more.
I thought wasn't the first fight we did the Hellboar?
No, that was after.
That was after, yes.
Okay.
Or at least it was the second or first or second. I don't remember which one it was precisely. But,
pretty sure.
Oh, yeah, no, I think it was on the way to the Hellboar. Like,
yeah, because there was the arena and he wanted to do the arena.
Yes, because Muzzrin wanted to leave the arena.
Yeah.
Before he did so, he wanted to kind of kick ass.
Yeah.
Also, I will be right back, guys.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's something that gives me a lot of trouble, and especially when it comes to like special abilities and like unique abilities, because that's something I like to give all of my bosses and major enemies.
Right.
Kind of like Riri with the analog spellcasting.
Oh, right. Yeah. That's right.
So I like giving my shit unique stuff, but it's hard for me to know if it's going to be too strong because I don't have like a character sheet that's around equal to you guys that I like do any test fights with. Which honestly I probably should do, but I'm too lazy.
There's a site. Well, no, that's for 5e. Never mind.
No.
Because I was gonna say last week we looked at a video that was going off of what 5e's CR was and like actually making something that works instead of it.
Okay.
And the person made a full site that you can like customize and give magic items and all this kind of stuff, and like gives you very good data instead of it being like a shitty table that's in the book that doesn't really represent everything very well.
Mm-hmm.
So like, yeah, but I don't think there's one for 3.5 like what we're doing. So
honestly, I'd be a little surprised if there wasn't one for 3.5, since it's kind of like the second most popular one.
It is
but
true.
Maybe not as fleshed out as the 5e one.
Yeah. I don't know if somebody's made one specifically, I suppose, is it? Yeah. It's been red for this entire time. I'm gonna try something and see if that helps or not.
Well, is anybody in chat saying that like frames are going?
Oh, I don't know. I think it's also because we're more just talking at the moment, not watching the video, so less frames to worry about. But
brothers, your boy returns victorious.
Welcome back. What did you do?
Oh, I washed my hands and face.
Good job.
I Don't
defeat
tell
Nurgle.
Don't tell me good job for that.
Oh.
That is the
Right. Yeah.
What are you talking about,
sure.
dude? You applied the sacred ointment that
Yeah.
repels Nurgle.
I was gonna
Shit.
say.
Yeah, I
Is it Nurglite or Nurglesque?
Nurglite.
I think it's
Nurglite?
light.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know it's Slaneshi incornate,
Yeah.
and I know it's Zinchian.
Yes.
I don't know how it works with the Chaos Gods.
Okay, so many things. Oh gosh, so many things from before, even. Okay.
Oh, fuck yeah, I forgot you had reduced E-holding.
Yes.
How old is this? Because I thought he hadn't been making videos recently. This is 11 months ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Professor DM called him Corey, that's right.
Oh, yike.
Did Cody cut his hair? Probably.
What hair?
Gimmick
Looks
number
good on them.
342, a mithril chair that slays a lich if said lich is forced to sit in it. Yeah, sure.
Is that a WWE reference where they have
I
like
don't
tables,
know.
ladders, and chairs and stuff? Or no?
I don't know. Cody's last video is still 8 months ago. Really?
Wow.
Interesting. Didn't know that.
Yeah.
Gimmick 72, doubles pickleball match versus a two-headed ogre. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Over here I haven't even thought about gods yet. I'll just let the players trivialize the boss if that's what happens. Yeah, that's fair. DM boo. Haha, they will take forever to beat this boss. Players, one punch, bang!
Yeah.
Yeah, it happens. To be fair, I'm also pretty used to play by posts and not even using a system, so the bad person just dies when it feels right. Yeah, that's fair. Narrative death is a good way to go, absolutely. As someone who makes their own stat blocks, it's rarely doubling, but HP will be added if I miscalculated time to kill. I should really switch to the number of hits model. You could.
I would advise, in fact, you don't take up my bad habits from when I was a brand new DM. Like
The to hits model.
yeah, that was my crutch because I was very bad at it.
Well, I mean, it's not necessarily a crutch. It could just be something that you do. It could work in a system easily.
Yeah, hang on.
Huh?
Never mind, it's nothing.
Okay.
We're playing Deep Rock, and he almost fell.
That's
I just
right,
saved him
that's
with
right.
platforms.
I forgot that you two are doing the thing.
Yep. Paying attention.
Yeah. No. You're
At least
good.
I am. I don't know about Aiden. Are you paying attention?
Yeah, I was literally just saying.
Okay.
I was
I'm
just
checking.
talking.
He's just asking. He's just asking questions. He's just
Dude,
asking
man.
questions.
Dude,
Calm down.
when-
Calm down.
when-
I'm just judging you silently from
when,
afar.
When you ask, hey, are you paying attention after I just responded to something that a viewer was talking about, it kind of makes me feel like the one who's not paying attention is you.
No, I'm just trolling.
All right. Let's see.
Yeah.
Who says I'm just trolling and tugs his shirt collar?
Yep, I'm not wearing a shirt. So
Hey, there you
I can't.
go.
I physically can't do that right now. I could go walk over and
tug
grab
your
a shirt
skin.
and then tux the
You
collar.
just gotta tug your skin a little bit. That's all.
Ugh.
Ugh.
Huh?
I do that
anyway,
in private.
next. Isn't the audience the table? Yeah, I mean, to a degree, absolutely.
Oh yeah, you know what? That's fair.
I like to think so. There you go. I roll, but you can talk. That's the thing. We're talking about the actual physical table that we're all at. Remember, we're all sitting here at this physical table. Goodness.
Yeah.
Boo, do you have double flares? Because it sure seems to me you don't.
I do.
Fuck, okay. I guess I'm just using more than I thought.
Yeah, I've got the 6 flares and increased respawn speed.
I rolled
That
a
might not be.
necklace.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. I rolled a necklace of fireballs as a treasure once, then forgot they had it. So later they threw the whole thing through the door into a boss room, which hit everything. Hell yeah.
Nice.
That's cool.
See, now that is one where I wouldn't change it because they clearly did something very clever, and they're gonna be proud of that doing the thing.
Yeah.
That's the sort of thing where I would let them do it, but I would definitely consider, will that break the item because they're not using it as intended?
Would it break the item? Oh yeah,
Yeah, like,
absolutely.
like
Well,
if you just open a door, prime everything on the necklace of fireballs, and then throw it in.
yeah, I mean it already loses all its charges anyway, so it's useless afterwards.
Unless you can get it refilled.
Necklace of charges. Necklace of fireballs regains 1d4 charges every day.
Oh, not even, or even if you've used every charge.
Even if you've used every charge.
Oh, okay. Some items don't work that way. That's why I thought so.
If you've used every charge, it's just if you roll a d20 and it breaks on an out one.
Oh, okay.
At least I believe it's one of those items. I could be wrong.
I don't remember. It's been too long.
It was that sword I gave you guys, remember?
Oh yeah.
The one that would do random damages
Yeah,
and then on a one
yeah.
it would shatter.
And then we
And
got
then
a
you
bunch
turned
of,
it
yeah.
into slingshot bullets.
yeah, a bunch of slingshot pebbles.
Thinking outside the box.
That's right. In there with 6 fireballs at once. That's right. Boss fight destroyed, but I was pretty happy about it. Yeah. 2 goblins will wreck a first level character. Yes.
Yes. I learned that the
yeah.
hard way. But he
Yeah.
lived, so.
He did
Yeah.
live. He did live. It's good to combat test things. Yeah.
Mhm. The thing that I'm really happy about is that in Call of Cthulhu, you don't really need to do that.
True.
Because the characters they're fucked no matter what, essentially, and I don't really need to touch the monsters.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's
Unless I'm
dropping in
making
and
custom
out.
ones.
Fuck. Yeah. So my bandwidth has not risen above 2500 for like the past few minutes.
Is that bad?
Yes.
Okay.
It should be around 4000.
Ooh.
But it is far below, which means we are dropping frames like fucking.
Well, how's your band length?
My it's pretty good actually.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Always there's that.
in the depth.
Also good.
Okay. And
I think
how do your bands translate through time?
poorly, unfortunately.
What a shame.
Yeah, no, I don't.
You need to get yourself a turbo encabulator, my guy.
I think it's because
God, what sort of budget stream is this?
I don't know.
I just fucking got my internet put in today.
Doesn't even have a fucking turbo encabulator pre-mounted with
God damn it.
surmounted with a pre-famulated.
By the way,
amulite.
interesting couple of things about my internet being put in. First off, when they opened up the box that's on the house, it had a huge ass wasp nest inside.
Oh, fun!
Like really, really big.
Alright, Cebu.
And
Yep,
and so the guy was like, "Oh, and had to run away from it for a second. And then I thankfully had I bought some wasp killer stuff. So I had that ready to go, thankfully.
I did not realize.
And then
so where was this internet box?
it's so the weirdness of this house.
Alejo, this answer can. All I'm looking for is my house.
Okay, I won't give it to you then. We're
Your
continuing.
house!
So the other thing that happened is one of the guys who was working on the internet came in and he saw my Warhammer stuff, and he was like, "Oh, is that Warhammer?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Is that Necrons?" I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "I can't talk to you." I was like, "Oh, fair enough."
Well, I mean, hey, it's either you do it with the Necrons or you do it with Space Marines. It's one or the other.
Yeah. So
what
funny.
factions?
So he unfortunately isn't able to play right now because he's gone through a divorce. So he had to sell off a bunch of shit to get through that.
Damn.
which sucks. But he used to play Chaos Space Marines.
Ooh,
yeah.
all right.
Was it Death Guard?
I don't know. He just said Chaos Space Marines, so I don't think it was
Okay.
Death Guard. He would have said Death
Oh.
Guard if it was Death Guard.
Yeah, that's fair.
But
Maybe it was Chaos Undivided.
It might have been, yeah. But yeah, and so we had a bit of a conversation on hobbies and all that kind of stuff. So that was pretty fun.
Yeah.
I was happy about that. But
Dude, I was getting a quote done on my vehicle for some repairs.
Yeah.
And I was like in the guy's office, and I saw he had like one of those little like rectangles of like the D20, D12, 2D10s.
Nice.
And I was like, so do you play D&D? And like his head snapped to me and he's like, yes.
That's
Nice.
always the fucking reply.
Nice. Very cool.
Always that tone, that inflection.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Please, let's talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so all that to say, they had to switch my service from where it was to here, and I don't think they've fully done that yet, so it might still be wonky because of that.
The service knows where it is by subtracting where it is from where it isn't,
Yeah.
from where it isn't from where it is.
But I don't know. So it really sucks because we're just dropping constantly, which is
Well.
really shit for the stream.
Yeah.
As well.
It is a
because
shame.
I assume it's just you know, in conversation.
Well, I mean, you haven't dropped out once for us.
Well, so that's the thing. I'm looking at Discord and I've got fucking 26 milliseconds. I'm green all the way, baby. You know?
Yeah.
But for fucking anything else, it seems like, or at least for this, for OBS, it's like, no, that's okay.
No.
That's all right.
We'll give you one. You get one.
Yeah, you get one. Right, exactly. So I'm not sure what the issue is, but I will have to call them tomorrow and ask and be like, "Hi, I stream. I need things for that to work." Because
Dude,
like
when I was getting the internet for my place, I was like, yeah, I would like good internet, please. And Comcast stifled a little laugh and like a little and they're like, yeah, sure, we have like the woman fucking sussed me out. She's like, yeah, we have a package for gamers. And I was like, because of how piss poor the construction quality on gamer chairs are,
oh, God,
I was like,
yeah.
I don't want that. I just want a good bandwidth.
Yeah. Yeah.
And band depth.
And band depth, right, of course.
And band length.
And band length.
And height. Sorry.
Right, of course. You're good. You're fine. Yeah, I don't know, because, again, I run the speed test things, and it's fine, so I have no fucking clue what's going on. It's great. It's really good. It's OBS, probably. Which doesn't make any sense, because nothing has changed, so, except for where I am, I suppose. Regardless, let's see, other things. You can probably tell how far behind chat is based on what topics we're commenting on. That's true. You're in a start and stop gap. Great.
I can't rock and stone with the tankard. I can't.
Only when it's you can only rock and stone with the tankard when you still have beer in it. You can't cheers with an empty fucking cup.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I just wanted to see if when I loaded into the mission, if the tankard would still be in my hand.
You have to jump on a boss 3 times to kill them. Yeah, there you go. Necklace of Fireballs is a consumable. Wait, I don't know if there's a difference from 3.5. I don't know. It's been a long time.
I thought I was quoting the 5e rules.
I have no idea. What an unprofessional streamer. That's right. Hello. I'm not too worried about how far behind we are as the audience. In my experience, the VOD will be fine when it goes up. Yes, the VOD will be fine. It's just I'm upset about the quality of it right now. That's all. Because I worry is all. Anyway, so Let's continue on. We've gotten past the initial tweet, and that's it. A minute and 20 seconds into the 16-minute video. Woo!
So
Yeah, we're on par.
That's right.
Yeah.
basically the core concept of this video. Is it okay to buff enemies in the middle of a fight? To change stats to make it harder on players in the middle of a fight? Why can't we just fudge
No. You've done different. Oh, okay. These are all different things that you are now going to.
Yeah.
Hold on. So first, is it okay to change stats in the middle of a fight?
So now, does that not is changing stats different
Stats
from
would be strength,
stats
dex,
would be their strength, charisma, and
you know, all that. Yeah.
I am fine with it. I want to say I'm fine with it, but I do have reservations.
Okay.
So if it is a boss that you have not properly thought about its stats, and you're like, wait, no, it makes a lot more sense thematically for this boss to like have a big strength, I'm alright with buffing his strength. However, I do find it like acceptable but in poor form.
Okay.
Furthermore, saying, "Oh, I buffed his strength," like can mean a lot of different things. It can mean I buffed his strength stat by 1 or 2.
Well,
It can
we're
mean I
talking about
buffed his
stats
strength-
specifically.
Well, if you will let me finish my sentence, Alejo, you will find that I was going to say you can buff his strength stat by 1 or 2,
Yeah.
or you can say I buffed his strength modifier by 1 or 2, or like you can buff his strength stat by like 7 or 8. That's a little unacceptable. But if it's like 3 or 4 and it's not really going to make a huge difference on how the boss plays, I consider it alright, but in poor form.
I suppose. I don't think you should. Just
either
general.
or one or the other.
I just don't think that you should like it's a mistake if it was not designed correctly, sure, but I feel like you just learn from it, you know? If it's a boss fight, I mean, again, my initial gut feeling is oh well, you know, because like at that point you just learn from it, right? You do a better boss fight later on, but it doesn't, like, I don't know, satisfying and unsatisfying boss fights are one of those things where it really, like, I've never felt unsatisfied when I've beaten something in a TTRPG, you know, like,
Oh, okay.
I've not, you know, it's just I beat it or I didn't, really. It's more the outcome of it,
Okay.
right, that matters. The story that happened because of it, or the story that led to it, and all that kind of stuff. Because again, it's just it's a hurdle in the way of what the story is building to, right? And if it's building to a big final fight, sure, then we did it, yay, good, right? If the final boss, I suppose if the final boss died in 2 hits, then I'd be like, okay. But if it died in 2 hits because we prepared so hard that we were like, okay, this thing will really work, then I'll be like, yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah,
right?
that's an area where it would be okay. So it's kind of like, you know, it would be like The Witcher, where it's like, okay, you learned all about this boss, you know its weaknesses, you know how to do with it, and if you don't, you're gonna fucking die.
Yeah.
That kind of thing, absolutely.
Yeah.
It really depends on the context.
Yes,
Yeah,
context
no, like-
matters in everything, absolutely.
Like, and that's why I probably should give a little disclaimer to what I mentioned earlier about boss difficulty. If your players have prepped for the boss and the boss goes down like a little bitch, good. Reward that. Let that happen. Like, I had a boss player I was going to throw at my party that was going to be like probably pretty lethal, but like the party thought on their feet, boarded up the house that they were staying in. There's a displacer beast outside, and I let them dodge that boss battle, and they still gained the XP from it.
Yeah. Exactly. It's just, and again, I don't see things as being unsatisfying unless, I suppose, like, I have faith in who I'm playing with, right? That's just it's what it's down to. I feel like that regardless of what the fight is going to be, I feel like it's going to lead to something, right? And it's going to be satisfying because it's a culmination of whatever it is, or it's another step in the culmination of whatever it is that we're doing, right? I'm a lot more about the total experience than I am about an individual fight, I suppose.
More the story as opposed to moments.
Yeah. Which is why I have now strayed farther and farther from something like D&D, where every fight is kind of... Fighting is really integral to it, right? It's a big part of the game, and while fighting is a part of most every TTRPG, it feels different in every TTRPG, right?
Yeah.
So,
It kind of dominates D&D.
It does
But
feel
that's
like
okay,
a big
because it's,
point
you
of
know,
it.
it's a combat. It's
Yeah,
a
and
combat
there's nothing wrong with
game.
it. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. Just,
Yeah. It's just that's why we're kind of starting to drift away from it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm moving into Call of Cthulhu. You're moving into Delta Green and Vampire.
Yep.
I eventually want to get into 7th Sea and Cyberpunk.
Yeah, and I would love to get into Call of Cthulhu as well. I just, I'm taking my baby steps.
Well, I'm writing a campaign, so you ever want to run it for
well,
anybody?
yeah, I mean,
You
that's
can buy
true.
a copy at
That is true.
www.website.com.
Hey. Yeah, no, that would be super cool. But yeah. Okay, I'm back. What did I miss? Oh, not too much. For the best CSM, if not in a good place right now. Huh? CSM?
Chaos Space Marines.
Ah! Yes.
Yeah.
That's right.
Boo, can I get a platform there?
Yeah, hang on. I'm kinda far away.
Same screenshot. Love it. Well, there you go. Yeah, I'm usually slow to read the chat anyway, just because we usually have a conversation before I get back to reading the chat. When you asked for that good internet, did you say it wearing a top hat, a monocle, and holding a diamond-encrusted cane while on the phone and twirling your fancy mustache?
I did not, but I'll do that when I move.
There you go. Easy. All right. And then he's going to say about fudging. That was the next bit, which we've already talked about to death, so doesn't need to be talked about too much. Just, you're either okay with it or you're not. Don't tell me if you're doing it, because that'll ruin my experience. There you go. That's it.
Stuff behind the screen. If players are doing better than you thought they would, what harm could possibly come from that? We'll just, we'll secretly adjust the fight to go as long as it needs to. Who would even know? No one's gonna know. Please, please, please heed my advice here, Dungeon Masters, and please don't do this. First and foremost, it breaks the golden rule of the Dungeon Master screen. You never, ever, ever cheat against your players with the DM screen. That's not what it's there for.
Okay. When was this the golden rule?
Yeah, I've never heard this rule. And
I thought the golden rule was have fun.
Yeah. And also, just because you're increasing the HP of a fight doesn't mean that you're cheating against them, because depending on your motivation, cheating is all about motivation.
Exactly.
That's
like
the thing.
Like what we were saying before, your context really matters, right?
Yeah, because I fudge. I don't fudge often, but I fudge. I don't do it so that I can beat them. I do it so that the fighting or the situations can be more intriguing, more satisfying, more fun. Sure. If you walk into a town and like, let's say you walk into a town of aristocrats or something like that, and you somehow manage to charm or bribe or whatever every single one of them, and like you have no trouble at all, it's not interesting. You got to have some conflict somewhere. You know what I mean?
It could be interesting potentially.
I know,
right.
but
yeah. No, I get you.
You know what I mean? You have to have conflict somewhere. So
yeah, there's got to be a challenge of some sort.
Exactly. And so if I were to cheat, like, I would need to cheat in order to make them lose.
Yeah.
And not even be like, oh man, you lost, now you just can't do this. No, it would be, you failed, but you know what I mean? But instead of just saying, hey, we want you to fight with us, like, okay, instead of that, it would be, hey, we need you to fight with us. Well, I would, but I need you to do this for me.
Yeah.
And now you've got far more. Now you've got like intrigue. You've got a quest to go on. You have people you might be snubbing. Like, I want, like, oh, he's in, then I'm out.
Yeah, I mean, my thing would be, you don't need to fudge to do any of that. Personally, I don't think so.
That's just the example.
No, I got you. I just mean in general.
Yes.
But yeah, I literally just thinking that it's always a malicious motivation is very weird.
Yeah, I consider cheating against your players to be just as bad as cheating for your players.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it
so why is that?
You're taking away from their like agency a lot of the time.
So I happen to believe in not punishing my players for their success. And likewise, I believe in punishing my players for their failures.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree with that.
But
because, like, you'll always be able to give them options if they fail, right?
Unless the failure winds up giving them no options.
Well, so how? How does that happen? Death. That's it.
Death.
Right, so they died. Okay, next character.
No. What I mean is, say you need to... Well, see, the thing is, now I would be putting myself in a position that I just wouldn't put myself in because I'm a better DM than this. But the example I was going to go to would be like, say you need to get this guy to work with you. Okay. And if you don't, you're fucked.
Why? Why did you make that situation? Right? Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
But the thing is, I'm not every DM.
No, I get that. But
and every DM isn't me. So there are people that could benefit from doing that.
My argument then is they should become a better DM and learn how to do things like that instead of like relying on a crutch, because that is a crutch. Absolutely.
Because eventually they could. But
yeah.
If they fuck up in a big way, that game could fall apart. It could. I'm not saying it will.
I understand. I understand. So at that point, it's a learning experience again, where you then look at that and you go, okay, how did it fail? Right? How did this happen?
I'm talking like catastrophic failure, like nobody will want to play again.
Okay. Well, then we're going into an extreme that I don't think that we need to, like, that's not...
I know, but again, I'm just giving you examples.
Well, I understand, and that's a straw man example, I think.
That example is niche enough that I think it doesn't really warrant, consideration.
Okay, well, I mean, at the end of the day, I'll still wind up fudging on occasion, so...
Well, I know, that's your thing. Absolutely.
Go ahead and fudge on occasion.
I'm just saying
it's your world.
Yeah, and I'm just saying, like, in general, though, for that kind of point, I don't think that in a grander sense. Yeah, in a grander sense, I don't think that it like justifies that, you know, in something catastrophic to that degree. Because at the end of the day, if you're playing with a group like that. Great, I'm glad that it fucking failed. Go find yourself a better crew.
Yeah, honestly, true.
Right? Yeah, so, like, you know.
Like, if you're playing with a group like that, you shouldn't be playing with that group at all.
Exactly.
But, yeah. There are times when you get stuck with a group that you just, there's no escape from it. You can't find any other groups and yada, yada, yada.
I suppose then I would point to the internet, you know? Like,
yeah,
it's just, there's so many things that I would go, like, you know, you have so many options in general. Just in general.
Yeah.
I actually would distance myself from that statement of like, oh, I would just point to the internet. That's a very easy solution to give with like the people that you find on the internet may not necessarily be even
just
better.
As the people that you may find in real life are the same way.
It's a very trite response to the point where it feels borderline disingenuous.
I don't agree, because, again, just because you can find those people that aren't necessarily a great group doesn't mean that you can't also have the same thing happen in real life. Like, exactly the same. You're trying to suss out a real group. What I'm saying is, if I point to the internet, I just mean that there is a vast array of possibilities in general of places that you can find these people, boards or forums, or, well, that's the same thing, or Discord servers even, you know, like...
Like, the example I would give would be, like, say, Tinder and Bumble, right?
Okay.
Tinder and Bumble are the fucking cesspool.
Yes.
Everyone knows this.
Sure.
And when you're saying, like, oh man, it's like so hard to find someone to date. Oh, just look to the internet. Like, it
okay.
feels very, like,
so I guess
very simple, but like in actuality,
I guess we're talking about two different things at that point, because most of the time, at least from the perception that I have of the groups online that are active about D&D or any kind of TTRPG, they're a lot better than something like Tinder or Bumble, right? At least because the horror story thing is like very few and far between in general. It's just propped up a lot more because of popularity, right? People are looking more for the negative than they are the positive.
Crit Crab's gotta have a job, man.
Exactly, which is fine. But what I would be pointing to, if I suppose, in order to make it feel a little less flippant to just point to the internet, I would then say you're gonna have to do some research on the internet to find people that are of a like mind, or that like the same kinds of things that you do, and actually try and do a lot of trial and error to find people that... But again, the same thing could be said about in real life. Trial and error of finding people to join a group to be in that game that you want, right? So there's nothing that I can really do other than say, you gotta either just go on the internet or go to another place in real life to find somebody, right? Some people. Because there's a lot more work involved, absolutely. But that's kind of, I think, at least baked into it for you to tailor yes, your experience to what is more suitable to you.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry, no, that aura is meant for Boo. I think we got everything.
Yeah, I think we're good.
But yes, Alejo, I agree with your point.
Okay. I just need to clarify more, I suppose. Other things.
I just need to fudge more, I guess. No.
That's right. My necklace of fireballs was the 3.5. I've been looking at its entry in the DMG for that edition and don't see anything about regenerating pearls there. Page 263.
5e. I think it regenerates.
I think he was talking about that one.
Granted, that's probably an old comment you're reading, Alejo, but
yeah, probably.
Yeah, I mentioned, like, oh yeah, no, I think I'm reading off, or I think I was intending to quote the 5e rule set.
Is a JRPG phase 2 not just a mid-battle stat change? Yes, it is.
Pretty much, yeah.
But it's the video games usually, I mean, you're prepped for that usually.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
I have phases for a boss fight where their stats can change too.
Yeah.
But I would consider that to be fundamentally different.
I think so too.
Than just changing their stats because you fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
that was an intended thing from the start.
Exactly. It was an intended thing. There's probably maybe a little cutscene for your players,
sure,
of like, oh wow, the dragon roars and you see its back almost unfold into wings, and now it has a fly speed.
Yep. It's probably an advantage of JRPG bosses. If they have a form change, you usually can't one-shot them. True.
Yeah, that's fair.
Also planned, yeah. As a player, I think I would prefer for my character to get the win they deserve than to have the intended flow of the story preserved. I would agree with you in that one. Yeah. Deserve equals earned. Oh, I see. So the win they earned, than to have the intended flow of the story preserved. Yeah, sure. Hi, Mog. How are you doing?
Hello, Mog.
Testing, 1, 2, 3. Trying to yell through the Wi-Fi. Sorry if I'm behind. Still having fun though. Knock, knock, Roger. Yeah, sorry, it's bad. Not sure if it's me or not, but stream keeps cutting out every 3 seconds, so I'll have to catch the Friday release going to miss my buddy Cozy. Yeah, sorry, Mug. Yeah, it's new internet.
It's all Alejo's
having
fault.
a bad. Yeah, it's my fault. It's all my fault.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It is. What a shame.
Yep.
I want every single one of you to go to patreon.com/tabletalk
God damn it.
and demand your money back.
Oh God.
A lot of money. That's like
That's
what,
it.
$200?
No.
Oh,
Oh.
Yeah, no,
Absolute
okay.
baboon.
go ahead and demand your money back. I'll just miss my leukemia treatments this
That's
month.
right.
That's fine.
Yeah,
He just won't be able to eat a $60 steak for the next 3 days.
that's
fine.
right as well. It's his only treatment
Hey,
that he's got.
Hey, $60 for 6 meals is.
Oh, I know. That's a
It's
good deal
really
for
good.
steak.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
Put chat in the bottle and the Wi-Fi C. Will the next thing after Devils and Dice be something in Delta Green? No. No,
Well,
it won't.
I thought it was potential.
No, the potential is Vampire on my end.
Ah, right.
Yeah. There's also Cyberpunk. that
Yeah,
I also
Vampire,
own, so-
Cyberpunk, City of Mist, and then something else. I don't know.
What was Aiden? What was your choice that you said? Oh, Pathfinder, I think. No.
I
I have
think
it
was
written down
Vampire.
somewhere.
I think it's
Oh, okay.
Vampire the Masquerade.
No, that was
or
mine.
Maybe
written-
Cyberpunk.
No,
That was me.
No, that was Boo.
All right. There is also the possibility of perhaps I seconded someone's vote.
No, you didn't. I know that for a
Okay.
fact.
Okay, well, glad to have you telling me
Glad
what
to
I
help.
like, Alejo.
I didn't tell you what you like. I just told you what you gave me as a choice is a different thing than all three of us. I know that for a fact. I can find it. I know where to look.
Boo, I gotta say, brother, your turrets are in, I think, like, the single worst possible position.
They were good when they were defending us here.
I know, but they're not good now.
Oh yeah, no. Well, I'm not moving them. I don't feel like building them again.
Ah.
So I'll just stand here.
You guys see what I'm working with?
Yo. That's funny. An enemy called a cave angel and he said, "To hell you go."
Oh.
Tell him I sent ya.
There you
That's
go.
good shit.
Pretty good.
Oh no, to cave hell with you.
Oh.
Because it's a cave angel, so to cave hell with you.
Gotcha. Okay.
I get it.
Yeah. Well, I can't find it right now, so fuck me, I
That's
guess.
fine. It's somewhere. in there.
Yeah, it's somewhere in my many things.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, no. God forbid you listen to me.
I won't. Yeah, you're right, because I know you're wrong.
Well, I mean, Alejo, what are you doing? You could just have him. You could just have Aiden vote for Vampire retroactively, and then we play Vampire.
That is true. I could do that. That is within my power, but
It is within your power. But then,
Yeah,
but
you'd be
I want to
fudging.
give no.
Be
So
fudging.
what I want to give is Aiden the chance to rethink it once we get to that point. That's all. But of course, if I can't do that, then I suppose I have to take it. I
I
suppose.
suppose I gotta
Anyway.
fudge. Oh, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to
How
fudge
the tables
our,
have turned.
our choices. Yeah, that's right. Anyway,
Mm. Give me a second, guys. My laundry just finished. I'm gonna head out.
Okay.
I'll be back.
Yeah. It's well known that the computer cheats in video games. That is true. AI gets
Yep.
free resources, knows where all your units are. Yep.
Mm.
If you
I play Total War Warhammer.
yeah, I was gonna say you put any 4X game, you put it on a harder difficulty, they just get things. It's great.
Yep, it's bullshit.
Anyway.
It never was. And if you think the DM screen is there so that you can fudge rolls or stats with abandon, it might behoove you to recalibrate that line of thinking. Veteran Dungeon Masters know the truth, okay? The screen isn't there to cheat your big bad monster's saving throw, which is basically the exact same thing as nonchalantly doubling the monster's HP in the middle of a fight to make it longer. It's there to protect your players from your mistakes. That's it. It's there so if you realize that you've thrown too much at the party or have made an egregious error, you can prevent your mistake from ruining the game, not the other way around. Secondly, if you're upset that your big bad...
Okay, wait, so, yeah, I suppose it is there for you to hide your mistakes? I guess?
Sure. But isn't that its own form of fudging?
Well, I don't even know what we're necessarily talking about at this point.
Yeah, what are we on right now? I don't even...
Yeah, because, like... So, the point is supposedly that, again, whatever you're doing behind the screen, if you change things, you're doing it against the players, right?
Yeah,
apparently.
It's just immediately assuming the worst.
Right, which, we've already talked about how that's not necessarily the case, and now, he's kind of just going at that more, giving more examples for that, which, yeah, if somebody's doing it maliciously the whole time, sure, you know, okay, great, let's not do it, I suppose.
Yeah.
Okay.
The game, not the other way around. Secondly, if you're upset that your big bad monster is going down too fast and that the fight needs to be extended with HP, you are stealing your player's agency, which is arguably the single worst thing you can do as a Dungeon Master. I mean that. Nothing you do as a Dungeon Master is going to break a group down faster or ruin a campaign faster than a Dungeon Master stealing their player's agency. The
Sure,
moment,
yeah.
I mean,
that's correct.
So now let me ask, because I don't fully follow this, and I want to know if you guys do.
Okay.
Why is increasing HP and making them just have to attack a boss more stealing agency?
So
why does it equate to that?
I don't think that it's necessarily that for doubling HP. Right.
Yeah, because stealing agency would be like, you know, forcing them to do shit. Like forcing them to do shit that they might not have wanted to do.
Yes. So I think that it's used in a weird way here.
Yeah.
So I don't know why he's talking about that. But yeah, I think that it's more apt to say that it is... I don't know how to phrase it, but it's making it so that things are going to be playing out the way that you want it to, more so, instead of the way that
it would have played out as it was normally, I guess.
Yeah, and which I guess you could see that as a way that it's stealing the... But it's not the agency that you're stealing. You're just stealing
really not.
You're stealing the experience, I suppose, in a way. Like you're altering it is a better way to say.
But I mean, if the end is still gonna wind up being the same, so you know,
well,
you kill a boss with 10.
Not.
Here's the thing:
yeah.
If you kill a boss that has 10 HP and you win, versus you kill a boss with 30 HP and then you win. You just wanted the fight to be a bit more exciting.
Yeah. So it's not necessarily going to be the same because potentially it's going to be the end. Like, I guess the thing is you're now trying to figure out which is the outcome that you think is going to be the most satisfying for them, right?
But you're not changing the outcome. You're changing the path. You're just making it so they have to put more effort into getting to the outcome.
It's the micro decision, I suppose, of who beats the thing and all that kind of stuff that you are changing, right? That stuff doesn't necessarily matter, right? I suppose it just becomes a problem if it's a pattern of like, oh, it's always this person who gets the last hit, right? Or all that kind of stuff. But
Uh-huh.
but I'm not arguing for it or anything. I'm just trying to figure
kind
out
of piece together what it is.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because, like, there is a difference. It's just, again, it's not anything.
It's nowhere near so, like...
It's not stealing agency.
It's really not.
It's not at all.
Why he's equated it to that.
I don't think so, yeah.
Because I would, you know, I can totally think of a reason and a way that this could be stealing agency.
Yeah.
If you specifically, like, let's say you have a character that's closely tied to the boss.
Yeah.
And you specifically raise the HP so that the boss can kill that character in a final last stand or whatever, where you're manufacturing a...
I return.
You manufacture a, like, pivotal moment versus what would have happened normally.
Yeah.
That I can absolutely understand. But if you're just trying to make the fight take a little bit longer because they're stomping it and it's not satisfying for anybody, then I don't see any issue with it. Because at the end of the day, everybody will always root for the characters, obviously. And that's completely fine. But I'm, like, one of the only ones that will say that the DM is also a player. And, I mean, hell, you remember when we did the fight with Riri in the Giant Village, and Brogan was like, I'm going to stop doing slow because I can tell you're not having any fun with it when I just make your bosses do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Because he could tell how much work I was putting into my bosses.
Mm-hmm.
So there are even times where I'm like, where it's like... The DM is also, you know, he spent all the time on the story, and it's not even that he wants to change the outcome of the story, it's that he wants you to be satisfied with the story and not just plow through it in 5 minutes and not feel any resistance. So I can't understand why that's taking away agency.
Well, so here's my question to you.
Mm-hmm.
If he had continued to use slow in encounters, would you have adapted?
Yes, I would have had.
Okay.
I would have had to.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is, like, I assume you saw his spell list, right? Like,
honestly, I don't really keep things of you guys' spell lists.
Oh, okay.
And the way that I worked with it for Riri was I thought I actually had it figured out, because if you look at the stats for Ettins, lots of different spells don't affect them in the same way because they have 2 heads. You can't charm them, you can't do a whole bunch of shit. I thought that was the same thing for slow. It was not.
Okay.
And there was essentially no way that I could interject anything that was immune to slow. Not without, you know, just having a random, it's immune to slow.
Right.
And since he was a giant, and I had planned for the giant village to be there, they were all going to have pretty low will saves, or wisdom saves, or whatever it was. So it absolutely still is my fault, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, okay. Because,
so,
I was going to say... No, I get that. What I was gonna say is just, obviously you didn't have a problem with it, and Brogan didn't have a problem with it, right? But
don't worry, Boo. No one's arguing it wasn't your fault.
Oh no, I know it was my fault. Don't worry.
No.
That's why I'm moving to Call of Cthulhu, because I don't have to do any balancing.
That's right.
Everything is balanced for me. If you want to cast spells, go for it, but your mind's gonna fucking explode.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just one of those things with that kind of thing. It's like, he took slow. It's very useful. It's a good spell. You know, you would reward him for doing so because he's able to make fights go easier for us, right? Mm-hmm. The only way that you challenge at that point is either put things that are immune to slow, or you put things that are tougher that could have a better will save, or, you know, all that kind of stuff, right? But again, you can't account for dice rolls, right? So
I can't account for dice rolls, and I also don't want to... you know, you guys are fighting giants. I don't want to throw in a random, like, I don't know, gibbering mouther or something that is completely out of the setting and tonally different from what's going on.
And you could change a giant to be more immune to it. Like, that's a thing that you could do as well, right? So, again, a lot of options there. But I get, you know, the DM is also a player, but for me at least, sure, I'm playing along, but I want to see how things play out, and it never affects me if somebody kills something way too fast, quote unquote, right? It never makes me feel like I did something unless it was supposed to be something that was supposed to take a long time, but then I know that I've made a mistake and I just need to fix what I've done, right? Later on. I don't know, I just take a lot of things as
You just take just about everything in stride.
Yeah, because like I don't want to, you know, have it be ruined by me going like shit, right? Like I after the fact for me going fuck, I really wanted that to, you know, last longer, you know, all that kind of stuff for me personally, because if I keep that shit you know, going in my, because I'll start thinking about it way too much. I will fucking obsess over that shit, right? But if I just kind of take it in stride and go, okay, next time hopefully it'll be better, or at least last longer if I want it to last longer, all that kind of stuff, right? Then it's easier for me to prep for things, because then I can just go, I mean, I'm gonna have a good time. Hopefully they're gonna have a good time. If they don't have a good time, they will tell me something. Something will change. It will have to change, because either somebody's going to feel a little less enthused and I will notice that in their voice, or all that kind of stuff. And then I can really like hone in on that, right? Because I'm going to have a good time regardless, right?
You sound like you're advocating for open and honest communication with your players, and I'm not sure how to feel about that.
Yeah, me neither. It's kind of
I know.
Fucking gay, bro.
It's real bad. I know. I'm sorry.
It's important.
Don't
Fucking
don't be-
Brogan is stuck in here and replaced Alejo.
Yeah, God, don't be saying that too loud. Like,
Right.
if too many people start doing that, then where will we get our content?
Yeah, exactly. Come on. We can't cure cancer. It's worth a lot of money.
That's right. That's right.
You know, though. So as fucked up as this is for me to admit,
Okay.
Okay.
I want to work in specifically cancer research, because I actually know a lot about cancer.
Because you've been on Twitter, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also that, and I'm also a big fucking nerd.
Oh, okay.
So I know a lot about cancers, and like the CAR T therapy is like fucking god tier, whatever. One of the reasons why I want to get into it as an industry for a career is because it is a very safe industry to be in.
I mean, it is.
Oh,
it's
sure.
kind of like
That's
it's
true.
like working for a grocery store. Everybody's got to eat.
Yep.
Everybody's gonna get cancer.
That's right. Well, well,
I will.
I have my family has a lot of it in it, so I mean,
Me too. Literally every single man in my family has gotten cancer.
Yeah. So
Literally, and at least all that we know of.
fair enough. But yeah, so like
Yep.
But anyway, yeah. But yeah, so I totally get my original point. I totally get the player or DM as a player as well. It's just it doesn't really register.
It doesn't
to me.
resonate as well with you.
Well, so
effectively.
it resonates in the sense that yeah, I am there and I'm playing, but it doesn't change anything for me. You know, it's gonna be it's gonna be a fun time. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun time regardless. I just have fun usually.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like when I do that, you are able to tune it out and say, I'm just not going to think about it. I'm going to change it. Yada yada yada.
Yeah.
I worry about that shit
That's fair. That's absolutely fair.
because like hell, remember that night when that session where Tharnanar stole or didn't? Yeah, no, he did steal your money. When he stole your money and made a suit of armor out of it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
When your characters sounded pissed because they seemed like they were pissed, I felt like I had pissed off you guys. I'm like, shit, that was a terrible session.
Yeah,
because I pissed them off.
Yeah, I remember that. You apologized.
Yeah,
I apologize. I felt awful
right.
for the rest of the night, even though I should have known it was just the characters.
Yeah, yeah,
but that's
absolutely.
me.
No, I got you.
So
Yeah, it's just how you work.
I worry a lot about how you guys feel after a session. So if it's not satisfying, especially considering we only play about once every 7 months now.
That's right.
If we have a bad session, I worry about that a lot.
Sure. Well, let me tell you, Boo, I've never had a bad session, so
Okay.
go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll probably wind up forgetting that in the heat of the moment, but
That is
I
fair.
appreciate that.
No, I get you entirely. I understand entirely. It's just I think that we're two different people, right? You
Yeah.
got different
so-
fucking minds. I worry about this shit with other things, but for
Yes.
TTRPGs, I'm able to like be okay most of the time. I get really
That's
nervous
good.
in the beginning,
but
but
once you get into your flow, you're good.
yeah, exactly. Anyway, okay, so
in short, increasing your boss's HP is not removing agency.
no, I don't think so. I think that's a little much.
Yeah.
Um,
And fudging isn't outright cheating unless you're
No.
trying to fuck over your players. But
yeah,
but,
exactly.
yeah.
There's
No,
Yeah.
so
oh
the role of a DM is to create a world and story, yes?
sure, yeah.
Now, with that being said,
Okay.
would it be even possible for a DM to
What?
like
You
this?
cut off at the end.
Sorry,
Yeah.
this is a question I have no opinion on. It's just curious. I'm curious to like get everyone's thoughts on.
Sure.
Given that the role of a DM is to create a story and world, if the DM has made a world and in their story the monster goes down in 7 hits instead of 4, is it even technically possible for a DM to cheat? Because
Yes.
they're just telling
Yes.
their story.
Yes,
It is,
because
yes.
at the end of the day, it's not just that you're telling a story, you are playing a game, and there
Yes,
is a
because-
system there that,
Mhm.
like, in order to be fair to both sides,
You have the dice.
You have the dice, and if you're, like, going actively against, I suppose, then you're cheating them out of the experience that they're having. You could also say the opposite as well, but I think it's less severe when you do it for certain things, because again, I'm not about fudging, but I understand the point if you're trying to do it for a beneficial reason. But I do think that yes, since it is at the end of the day a game, that there is a way for you to cheat, especially if you're doing something in the middle of something to make it so that it's more deadly, specifically, even to just kill these people, like to get back at them, right? The cheating
Yes.
kind of comes in when you start taking it personally, right? I feel but you know, I think there's multiple answers that you could have for that to say yes, it is cheating. But
I would say that it becomes cheating. It is fudging, in my opinion, is fudging when you are doing it for the benefit of the players and the benefit of the story, and it's cheating when you're trying to outright manufacture something or going against the players.
okay.
That's how I would see it. So
Yeah.
my two examples of that would be if a player is having a really, really, really rough night, like they came to the game, they're already in a not so good mood. They're coming in to try to have a good time, and they are just getting fucked up by their dice. I might let them succeed a roll or two. And
okay, yeah.
in
Boo, can I get a platform?
I already did. Oh, that one. My bad. And then the other one would be the same thing with the boss thing. You know, if you've built up this boss all day or all month, all year, whatever, and then they get to him and they're taking him out in like a single round, but you want it, you know, you've built up the boss to be this tanky, dangerous person. You want to extend the fight a little bit, make it a little bit more challenging, you know.
Right.
So that's a story benefit and a player benefit in my mind.
All right, so just act like I'm a bad mood whenever when next I play session.
Well, first you have to be fucking up your die rolls too, like consistently, and you have to be
the
like,
universe
crying
has to
and bawling.
fucking hate you.
Yeah.
is kind of the
Yeah.
Because don't worry, if you come in here in a good mood, you're failing every dice roll. I'm like, Boris can't see shit tonight. What the fuck's going on? You know.
So
I'm laughing about that.
all I instead have to do
is lie.
is no, just go. Only add 18 onto my spot checks instead of the full 30.
Right.
Yeah,
And
then
then
maybe you might miss
and
one or
then
two.
and then say, "Oh, sorry guys, I fucked up my math. I've got shit going on."
Yeah.
and really make Boo feel sorry for me.
Really,
Yeah.
boy who cried wolf
I've-
it to such a
Yeah.
degree.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I fucked up my math. It's actually
I-
plus 33, not 32.
Yeah.
So let me redo all my calculations all over
Guys,
again.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm sorry. My spot check is a 74. Like,
Yeah.
not a 32.
And then you know what I would do? I'd be like, you try to spot him, but you see through the fabric of the universe, and you look through him. You don't see him.
Yeah. Many things. Okay. I think JRPGs might be some of the most fair video games, though. Usually, at most, the worst they do is let enemies have infinite MP. That, at most, was redundant. As long as the player's okay with it, cheat rolls can be okay. Well, so this is the thing. I would not want to know that something was fudged because it will ruin my experience. That's just how that works for me. Although online is an option worth looking into, yes, I think so. So if you can't find a good D&D group, offline or online is what I meant. Yes. You can always check your local gaming store, also true, if you have one.
Yeah,
I literally considered saying go to your local gaming store, and then I was like, no, not everyone has. And
Yeah, exactly.
Sadly.
Yeah.
I went from moving to a place that has no local gaming stores to moving to a place that has like fucking 4.
Yeah, there
My
you go.
God, that's awesome. That's how I'm gonna meet people for Warhammer.
Yeah,
Wargaming night.
This kind of feels like writing.
The one I showed you guys pictures of has a local Warhammer night, and I gotta say it's kind of tempting.
Yes.
Well, I mean,
actually,
what's ironic is that that's Kurt Armstrong. Sorry, Leech. I was watching there's a guy on YouTube who does a lot of Warhammer shit, just like lore and armies and stuff. His name is Pancreas No Work, and he's diabetic, obviously. Yeah. And he talked about knights and how knights are fucking awesome. And I know that you like knights, and technically, knights are one of the cheapest armies to buy and play.
True. Really?
Yes, because the thing is, you might spend like $170 on a single model, but that's a third of your army. Yeah. So they're actually very affordable, which is funny if you've got expendable income.
The other thing that I would actually posit now is that Combat Patrol is actually pretty good. There's a game mode that is specifically just with those Combat Patrol boxes.
Yes.
So you can, and they have like full stats and everything. So you can just go from that.
Boo, can I get a platform?
Oh, sorry.
So yeah, that's another. It's just $150 and you're done. Like you can just play small Combat Patrol army games.
And I mean, if you don't want to, you don't have to paint them.
Yeah.
Or you could commission paint them, which I'm kind of interested in, like getting a single model commission painted and then just.
I've thought about it too. Yeah.
Using that as a like a guideline for painting the rest of my army.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Because I don't want to have to pay for an entire force.
No, it'd be a lot.
Yeah, that'd be very expensive.
Let's see. This kind of feels like writing letters to chat and waiting for the mail to arrive. I love it. I'm sorry that it's the case, but I'm glad that you enjoy it.
The gimmick for this episode.
That's the aesthetic we're going for.
Electric snail mail.
That's right.
Alejo, that was so smart and cool of you.
Thank you.
Oh my. Ooh, I don't know why, Aiden. The way you said that, like the robotic kind of like, not caring version of that reminded me that I just watched the story mode on Forspoken. Oh.
Forspoken. Which one was
that new game
I
from
know
Square Enix? Dear fucking God, it's so bad.
I haven't looked into it.
Ooh, you should watch it. It's a great video. It's a terrible game.
Cool.
Boo, send me a link if you would.
Okay, I will.
Linkus. Let's see.
Which rates worse, Boo? Forspoken or Gollum?
Forspoken or what?
Gollum.
Oh, Gollum in terms of like, the actual like hardware, quote unquote, of the game, and Forspoken absolutely in terms of writing.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. It is trash.
Cool.
It is a 2-hour-long video, so enjoy at your own leisure.
Ooh, I like long videos.
That's fun. I've been literally watching someone play through FF16, and his streams are like 5 hours each. So
Nice.
There you go.
thank you.
Was it Star Trek 5 or 6 where they had the new Enterprise and everything was glitchy? I don't know. I haven't watched 5 or 6, unfortunately. I've only watched 1, 2, and 3, I think. No. I don't remember, but it's been a while. I can tell you that because without internet, I was watching some stuff. I was watching some Next Gen, and there was an episode where there are many episodes where there's a little bit of a problem with the Enterprise, but the most recent one that I watched was becoming glitchy because of nanomachines, son.
Oh shit.
So yeah.
They're Star Trek sources. They made it the fuck up.
Yeah, basically.
Check the internet lately.
Alejo using shock pads on Wi-Fi modem. Live, damn you live. It's fine. That's the thing. If I wasn't streaming this, it would all work just fine. It's just OBS right now.
It's just OBS because we're having no issues with Discord.
No issues with Discord. I haven't had issues with watching anything. Like, nothing buffers. It's just OBS. So it might just be that I need to turn it off and turn it on again like several times, and maybe it'll be okay. I don't know.
You know, when you said that your internet was fine, would have been the perfect time for you to cut out.
It would have been
great.
Um,
That's an Aiden move, though.
Yeah, it is an
It
Aiden
is.
move. That's true. Shit. But if I cut out, if I get out of the Discord call, it becomes a whole. Anyway,
It becomes a whole thing, and we don't want to have things.
Just got so many things.
This is why we can't have things.
That's right. Neither good or bad. Maybe that's the problem. He's shorting out the modem by using shock pads on it. That's fair. My most cringe mistake I can remember is having a guard grown brains when the party approached him because I thought I had made him a zombie, but he was actually just a guard.
That's pretty great, actually.
Dude, that's when you just roll with it and make the guard like in early 20-something-year-olds and be like, haha, funny prank.
Yeah, it's just a
that.
prank.
I hate that more.
Filthy Frank and pull fucking ravioli out of his shirt pocket.
That's right.
Yeah. What's your brains policy here?
What is your brains policy? Of course, increasing the enemy's HP won't save it from a phantasmal killer. True. Well, apparently, in 5e, it looks like they nerfed it there. Yeah, nothing is as lethal in 5e. Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's continue. It's been a while.
Moment your players feel like their choices no longer matter, guys, it's hard to recover from that. And it's the exact same reason D&D players hate railroading. Everyone who has played D&D has experienced railroading before, and every DM has been guilty of it, okay? Myself 100% included in that.
Yeah, not everybody, but okay, let's just... this is Cody's thing, remember. He does broad generalizations to make sure that everyone is included, regardless of who they are.
Yeah.
So.
Oh my god, dude, there's a lot of fucking Jada's deposits in this.
Oh, yeah, it's a mineral mania.
Mercer, Perkins, Crawford too, okay? It's a rite of passage as you learn the game.
Don't
the reason I
glorify
thought
it.
it was such
I wouldn't
Don't
say
glorify
so, because...
Honestly, I don't think I believe that Matt Mercer would have ever railroaded.
I mean,
to be honest.
I think...
I do.
I think it's possible that anyone can. I just don't...
Oh, I just don't believe that he did.
That's fair. It's perfectly fine for you to not believe so. I do. But
it might have.
It might have happened.
I don't know if I
Absolutely.
believe it.
No, I get you. But yeah, I with what you said, Aiden, absolutely. Don't glorify it. It's not a rite of passage. You don't want to do it necessarily. So
yeah, this is kind of like the fucking rite of passage of those people that live in that particular jungle where they stick their hands in a fucking glove filled with bullet ants. Yeah, it's a rite of passage.
Yeah,
but I don't want to fucking do it.
By the way, Boo, I've got to call Molly back. I am getting mineral deposits in like this weird random side tunnel.
Okay, well, whenever you finish up, come on back down. We can do the event.
I'm already finished.
Oh, okay.
uh, Quick question for anyone interested: can you beat a boss or monster without killing it? Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yeah, non-lethal damage. There you go.
Yeah, non-lethal or just specifically. Have you ever played Monster Hunter?
Yeah, trap it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, hell, if you're fighting a human enemy, you can demoralize and bully it.
Yes.
Or
Yep,
if you're
make
fighting a
him-
lich, you can suplex it
Make it cry.
and make me cry. Yes.
Yes.
Vitriol is because the players feel like they don't have agency, that their choices don't matter.
I
If
agree
you
with
are
you there.
approaching a combat with your players with the mindset that the fight needs to be at least 5 rounds, at least 3 rounds, at least 8 rounds, or it's not fun, and you cheat in the middle of the fight to make that happen, you're basically saying it didn't matter with what choices your players made, that they had no agency to begin with. If your mom
Okay, so there's a difference there.
There's a very big difference. Yes.
So
Context.
I understand, I suppose, what you're trying to say here. That, yes, it technically, at the end of the day, will not matter if you just completely change the fight. To, like... so the scenario that you have made is you want this to happen this way, and then you say, this is going to happen this way regardless. That is the scenario that you have made, in which case I say, yeah, that's not great. You have no flexibility, which is not a great thing to have as a dungeon master, because the whole game it's got a lot of improv in there, dude. That's kind of a big deal. But there's a degree at that point, yes, that you have now said, none of what you are doing matters. I'm going to make this fight exactly the way that I need it to be. Right? Now, there are variations on this that we've already described, of like, the fight needs to take at least one more round longer because it seems like it's going to be unsatisfying, or, you know, like, depends on if you're doing a fudge or not, of certain things. Like, that's, the motivation behind it is kind of what you need to look at. So, if we're going
Wait
to
a minute! Dude!
Yeah.
He's called Cozy because he makes so many blanket statements!
Oh!
Yes!
Yes! Yes!
I win the podcast.
Good one. Yes, there it is. That's the joke of the day.
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're absolutely
That I
fine.
needed.
I appreciate that. So many
Anyway, go
blanket
on.
statements.
Yes,
so
context
good. Anyway, yeah, so... No,
I'll wait for
so
chat
good.
to catch up to that one.
Yeah, that was great. Anyway, so yeah, your context matters, but if we're going to just assume that everybody is going to be doing this maliciously all the time, railroading these people and all this stuff, we have a bigger issue, right?
Yes.
We have a bigger issue of you are literally just putting these people in this game that you just want to happen as a story of your own design, regardless of whatever their choices are, right? Like, you railroading to a T of, this is going to happen this way because it has to. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Yeah, the issue I have with railroading isn't that choices being taken away from me. The issue I have with railroading is because D&D is inherently a communal game where
Yeah.
everyone's choices matter.
Yeah.
And you're just invalidating someone's choices. Like, you're not taking them away, you're just saying no.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're just saying, yeah.
So
That's a very good way to put it.
Yeah, 100%. So, like, yeah, no. Anyway.
Yeah.
monster had 80 hit points, and the party had bad rolls in the first few rounds so that you didn't have to change anything. Versus your monster having 80 hit points and the players critting twice early. So, oh no, you need to change your monster's hit points to 160 now. You are saying that the game, the dice, the spells, the choices that your players made weren't relevant. You've stolen their agency and are no longer playing Dungeons and Dragons and are now just telling a story at them. Thirdly,
Yeah.
and I want to
Ish.
To
I
a
would agree.
degree, right? He's not 100%, but to a degree.
Emphasize this, okay? Particularly because of this line, who's gonna know, no one's gonna know, is just categorically not true. Again, guys, I'm not saying
Also, a
this to pick
dangerous
on
fucking game to play.
Yeah, it is true. It is.
You know who else says that? Cheaters.
Yeah, true.
Well, one might say cheaters both in relationships and in D&D.
Oh,
Who's gonna know? No one's gonna know.
That's right.
It'll be fine.
You'll know.
Yeah, exactly. You will know, but that's now a question of whether or not you give a shit, right?
And if you're willing to cheat, then
yeah,
you probably don't.
yeah.
Mm.
Fucking okay. So I need to drag this back. I need to hear this again.
Yeah,
the
because
dice, the spells, the choices that your players made
Not those.
weren't relevant. You've stolen their agency and are no longer playing Dungeons and Dragons and are now just telling a story at them. Thirdly, and I want to emphasize this, okay, particularly because of this line, who's gonna know, no one's gonna know, is just categorically not true. Again, guys, I'm not saying this to pick on this person, okay? I don't think that they are the worst DM ever of all time ever out in the Twitterverse ruining games. All right, but let's talk about this. This just
3
isn't
times now.
true. And it's something that didn't click with me personally until I experienced it from the other side of the DM screen, all right? I used to think exactly like this. So I'm not throwing stones. But with experience,
4 times.
as I got closer to that 10,000 hours, right? Okay, I learned the hard way that this isn't true. Players will absolutely know.
have you
I had
been
a story.
I don't.
Have you been keeping track of the hours
Yes.
you've been playing D&D?
Yeah, that's been a thing that he's done before. Yeah.
No, it's
Like-
it's not that. It's not
not
that he's
D&D.
put hours into tracking the amount of times he played D&D. Boo. There's that statement of, oh, after 10,000 hours spent doing like dedicated time doing that craft, you will master that craft.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
he's calling himself, one might say, a dungeon master,
Right.
not
Oh
a
my
dungeon
God.
gooder.
Not a dungeon
But a
gooder, of
dungeon
course.
master.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but oh god, don't ever, first off, don't do that. That's fucking, with this game that's ever changing, that is completely different for every table and everything, like, sure, you did it for your group, I suppose, potentially, but maybe not, and also every, whatever. Yeah, okay, so your players are gonna know regardless, is a strange thing to say.
Yeah.
Well,
because-
that being said, if we get into a combat session, like I've picked up on my DM fudging before,
Sure.
like, if we get into a session and we're all rolling fucking fire, like
Yes.
nat 20 after nat 20,
Sure.
and the boss battle is like decently hard, not too hard, it's like Goldilocks, it's just right. I go, that's a little sussy.
Yeah, but you don't know for certain. Like, you won't ever know for certain until somebody tells you.
Well, sure, I won't know, but like, you know, a wife whose husband keeps a second cell phone and who sneaks out at midnight every night.
Well, so that's a
might
lot more
suspect.
evidence.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a lot of evidence.
My point being, if you have a reasonable suspicion, like in my case, I know my DM, I know how difficult he makes encounters.
Mm.
And
So
if
that's
we
additional
are
information. Yeah.
and we are rolling fucking fire and it happens to be coincidentally exactly how hard I expected, then that is I would consider a reasonable suspicion.
Well, again, you've added another factor of, you know, how this DM like makes their encounters, right? Like, so I guess my only thing is, unless you are privy to information that otherwise you're not gonna know, you probably won't know, and you can suspect all you want, sure, but at the same time, I guess it's up to you whether or not you want to have a lot of suspicion or not, you know? Because, again, if you don't tell me shit, I'm not gonna suspect anything, personally, because...
Well, maybe you won't.
Right.
But
I'm saying what I'm saying is overall I don't know if it's a good blanket statement to do either, right? Of you should always, like, if you're suspicious of one thing, then you should be suspicious in total, or if you're not suspicious about anything, you shouldn't be suspicious at all. It's just one of those things that unless there's really significant proof, I don't know if it's good to do it one way or the other, like, and actively maintain, like, a count, I suppose. Because then you just grow in your paranoia of, is my DM fudging these rolls for us to have a more decent challenge or not? And again, for your case, you absolutely have a bunch of evidence that you could go, oh yeah, absolutely, right? But I don't know. I don't think it applies to every situation, right?
Yeah, I also will happily provide point counter to my own point.
Sure.
Which is, I have looked at some of my DM's stat blocks, and he threw a dragon at us with 5,000 hit points.
Jesus Christ.
Was that in Pathfinder?
No.
Okay.
That was in D&D 5e. We defeated it, but good fucking god.
What the fuck kind of dragon was it? Was it like an ancient great fucking worm red dragon?
Great worm golden.
Okay.
Or no, sorry. It was some homebrew thing that he had then additionally tweaked the hit points of.
Oh,
it was
Jesus.
It was a
but
chaos.
Yeah, okay, that's in line.
Yeah.
It was
golds and reds have the most health.
It was an end of the campaign chaos dragon. It was the big bad evil guy of our campaign.
That makes more sense.
And we were fighting it at, I believe, level 17.
Okay. Wow. Let's see. Need a weapon that specifically does that, though, or you can take an attack roll penalty to inflict with normal weapon for non-lethal damage. Yeah.
One more level, and I get the Plague Doctor mask with the hat.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Chat is so far behind. I'm sorry. Also, do normal animals get CR for battles like normal bears in the woods?
Yes. It's not usually much, and they're usually almost always at the back of the monster manuals.
Yeah. Well, they're at the back of the player's handbook, usually.
That too. Oh,
yeah,
I'm used to reading my Tome of Beasts and Creature Codexes.
That's different. Yeah. Anything you can potentially fight has a CR, which includes animals. Yes. Shackpad jokes in order. Yeah. I've mentioned this before, but action points, which were introduced in 3.5 Eberron, are pretty good non-cheating alternative to fudging rolls for players.
Yeah.
Yeah. They can be. Absolutely.
Yeah, because it's like it either gives you I think it gives you a full action in addition to whatever you've done.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
I've told before 3 or 4 years ago where I had a GM back in my Pathfinder First Edition days that approached combat like this. Okay, it doesn't really matter what all the background was, but the short of it was that my character tried to do something that I was excited about, and the GM was obviously upset that I was going to shorten his big bad boss encounter with something kind of clever. So called for a roll. I rolled like a 19 or something, and with all my bonuses, the big bad boss had literally almost no plausible way to avoid this thing that I was trying to do. After initially saying it failed, he finally decided to let the thing happen, only to have the big bad immediately undo my clever ploy and continue attacking us as though it never happened and it didn't matter on the baddie's immediate next turn.
Okay, so you have given us an example of your DM just not allowing you to do something clever and benefiting from it.
Yeah, see, now that goes a little bit, that goes far, far, far beyond just increasing HP.
Yeah, so but I understand, that's a bad thing to do.
Yes.
Good job. Yay.
Congrats. You said something very obvious. By the way, Alejo,
we are in agreement.
Because chat brought up Animal CR. Did you hear about Baldur's Gate 3?
I have not. I've not paid attention to that game at all.
So it's about to be finished, and it's one of the most insane things in the world. We can
Okay.
go into more of that later. But there
I
is.
would like to submit that we all, as a group, should play it like we did Divinity.
Yes, I do
Okay.
too. But the one thing I'd like to supply is that there are many romances, and one of them involves a bear, and you can fuck the bear.
Yep.
I just thought I would say that.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, it's hilarious.
Yeah,
Okay.
Specifically you show up and like the bear's like like it gets introduced that he's a druid.
Of course it is,
Like
yeah.
in the heat of the moment, and he's
Yeah.
like, sorry, this happens sometimes when I'm excited.
Okay.
And
Okay.
one of your voice lines is, no, that's okay. I'm cool with it. And
God damn it.
and then the bear goes, are you sure? It could be kind of big. And then the voice line for that is, big is what I'm here for.
God. Also, they've not stuck to canon. You can't talk in animal form.
Aw, what?
That's not a thing that you can do in 5e, which I assume is what they're basing it off. In any edition, I don't think.
Yeah.
You would need speak
Yeah.
with animals to do it, so...
Oh,
But regardless,
dude, you get to fuck a bear.
you get to
what is-
fuck a
what is
bear,
the
I
issue
guess.
here?
Great.
I think
no,
your
I-
argument is invalid.
All right, sorry.
I will turn a blind eye by
Turn the
virtue-
other cheek.
I will turn the other cheek by virtue of bear fucking.
That's
Yeah.
fine. That's fine.
So
I
we
just
can talk more about that,
That's
like the rest of
fine.
the game later. but
Sure,
I wanted
sure.
to let you know that.
thank you. I appreciate the
Yeah.
knowledge that is cursed.
Yep.
Boo, do you know how they revealed this information?
I don't, unfortunately.
Okay.
I think
so-
they just went into the romance trees and they just came up at some point. I don't actually know the full story about that.
So Evo just happened.
Yes.
And one of the things that they did during Evo is like release like trailers and gameplay of upcoming games to get people hyped. And Larian has specifically withheld this footage until Evo.
Oh. Weird.
That's hilarious.
That's so strange. There's also inspiration, but like action points better. You just get a certain number of them per level, and they refresh their new maximum at each level. So they're use it or lose it. Yeah, I like that better. Resources are better to me than vagueness.
Yes.
But not so rare or hard to get that you'll never use them. What if TTRPG's buffered? That would be trippy. I don't think that's a. What?
Well, I mean, unless they add that as a pay to unlock feature.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
I've had WoW buffering before, but you usually get timed out when that happens. That's true.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's called lagging. That's true. If you don't have a local gaming store, just grab your own bootstraps and pull yourself through the air over the nearest city. Yep, over to the nearest city. That's right. Did not know WoW timed you out if you lag too much. Yeah, it does. Yep. When I used to play WoW, that would be a thing because I didn't have good internet for a long time, and then I was like, hey.
And you still don't have it now.
Hey!
What a shame.
Only
Times
for
never
OBS. The more things change, the more they stay the same. Maybe if you're only lagging really badly, I remember it happening at least, though I haven't played it in a pretty long time. Yeah, same.
Check the
Okay,
Discord,
yeah, I saw. Let's go.
And to say that it was a frustrating feeling, that the GM was basically forcing X amount of combat rounds with his big bad, is an understatement. And this might seem like an extreme example, but it's not. Or hell, I don't know, maybe it is.
It is.
But the point's the same. If you approach combats like they have to have a round quota to meet before your players can win, regardless of how well the players might be doing, they will be able to tell. Sure, you might get away with it at first, but I promise you, you will get caught, even if they don't say anything to you directly. And it will create a bored or worse, a toxic feeling at the table. Want to know how to create a players versus DM toxic mentality for your table? Let the players think that you're cheating them behind the DM screen, because you'll be there in no time. And fourthly, guys,
That's true. Yeah. I mean, you're right. Okay.
This is also an additional reason why meaty hit points are not a good idea.
guys, doing this is not just stealing your player's agency, right? It's stealing their moment. Do you want to know what I personally try to accomplish when I run games of Dungeons & Dragons? I want to create moments that everyone at the table will remember when they lay down to sleep later that day.
Okay, brother, that just I understand, but like setting out to create those, I suppose, is well and good, but I think letting them just happen naturally is better, I think.
Yeah.
Though I suppose if you're doing something tailored to a character and you want something to be revealed and make a moment, then yeah, absolutely, because at that point you're doing it for a specific character, right? But I mean, he's not even making it's fine. Never mind.
Yeah.
At night. I want memories that we can all look back and talk about and laugh about a year later, 3 years later, hell, 10 years later. And what do you think your players are going to remember more? The Hydra that you wouldn't let die so you increase the HP, so you dragged combat on for a full 10 rounds? Or that time where they absolutely pummeled that Lich in just 2 turns, then counted.
Every fucking time, I swear to God. It's always.
Why? Why, Cody?
Every time, dude.
Oh, that's so funny.
And I'm never gonna. Well, you know what? You guys made a fucking memory for me.
That's true.
PTS fucking D. It's my Vietnam. Fucking damn it. He's a fucking greasy ass measle suplexing and choking out my Lich. Thanks, Cozy. Blanket statement, Cozy.
I feel we have to agree with Cozy by default.
I mean, what are you what are you gonna do? I mean, obviously because he's given me the opposite end, which is ridiculous. So yeah. Anyway.
The Lich's spell to escape and finish him off. And how excited they all were after being terrified of him for maybe months of a campaign before they got to him and just ended up wrecking him. Okay, let's shift tone here, right?
Actually, you know what? I'd like go ahead and pause it. That is a good point I'd like to ask you guys.
Okay.
Because that's something I hadn't considered. If I were to build up a boss like, I don't know, say a god Hydra that can eat monsters and spawn them out and, do that. And I built him up and up and up and up and up, and then you guys beat him in like 2 turns. Would you feel like, hell yeah, we just beat that really built-up boss in 2 turns? Or would you be like, oh, we just beat him in 2 turns?
It would be a little column A, a little column B.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it depends on the context, I think. Right?
Yeah, like if you guys kind of just walked up and you just kind of smacked him with your swords a bit, and then he died.
I think then I would be like, oh, well,
that was lame.
I guess let's keep going.
It would feel like a session where nothing special happened.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it'd
whereas
feel like
if I built it up and you needed to take like months to prepare for it, and then you did the big plan, that's where it would feel satisfying.
Yeah, sure.
I would also retroactively feel that Dispotter is a little bitch.
Ooh, yeah, true. Enough. Yeah, because you gotta consider, because he's scared of it, or not scared, but concerned.
You gotta think about the world implications.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Fair enough. Because that's something I had actually genuinely never considered.
Boo, come here. Boo, come here.
Oh, okay. Where are you at? Just ahead. Okay.
Yeah. It's a dick.
Nice.
Oh my god, it is a dick.
It's a dick.
You fucking star. Hang on.
You fucking star.
Okay, I screenshotted it. We're good.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. So you were saying, sorry. You were thinking about this?
Oh, I was just thinking that like that's something I had never actually considered.
Oh, gotcha.
It cropped out the very bottom. Fuck.
What?
His screenshot.
Oh.
But I think that
again, it's once again a thing of context.
It really matters the context, to like if in the fight that we had done something incredibly clever, whatever.
Yes.
Like if it had been because of something that we had done, then it'd be like, yeah, absolutely, that's great.
Yeah.
And what was the other thing? Yeah, I think a very good point that Aiden brought up is the world context, because if you do this doubling of HP thing, right, for something that might last 2 turns, and it's something that is supposed to be feared by many things, it could feel like you have accomplished something like pretty substantial by being stronger than it, right? If you do it in 2 turns. Or it could feel, again, the context of this matters as well, it could feel like, oh, everybody's been scared of this thing, it's not that bad, you know? Like, it just really depends, again, on context. Fucking a troll is continuing to harm a town, and they hire this group to go and fight the troll, and the group kills it in 2 rounds. It's like, is that a praise of their skill, or is that a
subversion of expectation?
Well, no. Because subversion of expectation could be satisfying as well. It just depends on how well it's done,
exactly. No, that's
right?
what I was gonna say.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
everybody's like, oh shit, this troll,
Sure.
oh no, and then you go in, it's like, oh, that wasn't...
Or is it a not, what's the opposite of praise, I suppose, is what I'm looking for. Indictment of the town that it's been terrorizing, right? Is it, and does that make sense, right? Is it that it makes sense that this is something that's easily killed by the group, or does it make sense that the town is so afraid of it, but it's not that hard to kill because they're a town of fucking peasants or something, right? Like, there are so many factors that it's so hard to really pin down anything. Just, you gotta be in that moment and then ask yourself, I guess, afterwards, after it's happened, was that, like,
Hey,
did
Boo,
that
can
make
I get a
sense?
platform?
And all that kind of stuff, right?
Maybe another higher up.
Oh, okay.
So
I'm out.
it also depends on the context of how I feel about the character.
Yeah.
So, for instance, in the level 1 to 17 campaign with the dragon who is 5,000 hit points.
Sure.
Even if the DM had fudged so that it'd be easier for us to succeed, and it was like this boss that had been built up for like years or something, and we defeated it in like 2 rounds, I'd be like, hell yeah, that's because like this character and this party are all badasses. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
We're just those kids. But if it were like Boris is a little scumfuck, and just a little piece of shit, and that's his whole character, then like, why is this character succeeding at something that's ostensibly difficult?
Yeah. Yeah, there's just so many different variables that I don't think it's easy to pin it down immediately, right? Again, just in the moment, you got to make a call. And if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't work out, I mean, you'll know about it potentially.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
and I mean, hell, worst case scenario, if anything like that ever happens, as long as your players respect you, you can just flat out ask.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, was that disappointing? Did you guys,
Yeah, exactly.
Excuse me, Morty.
I
should honestly probably stop quoting that now that he's a fucking domestic abuser. Huh?
Yeah. And also the show is bad now.
Oh, did it turn bad finally?
Oh, it turned bad a while ago.
Oh, dude.
I haven't watched it since like season 3. So.
Apparently 4 was okay, and then it just started going downhill after that. Yeah. Anyway.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
The players is not the right approach. So, what can we do instead? Besides just letting it happen and laughing along with your players, which is perfectly fine and often the right choice. Okay. There are some other ways that you can cheat fairly that won't steal your players' agency.
Okay.
The first way that you can cheat fairly is to take the story in a different direction. Okay, your big bad boss just died like a chump. What now? Well, the easiest way to cheat this fairly is to tweak your backstory and create a newer, bigger boss that was really pulling the strings the whole time.
Sure.
Doesn't feel fair enough? Fine.
Also called the shonen approach.
Yeah, I mean, it's a thing you can do, absolutely. Like,
Yeah.
at the same time, if your players don't know, I suppose.
You guys remember when J.K. Rowling spent 7 books hyping up Voldemort, and then he died like a little pussy, and then Swoldemort was released? Apropos of nothing, with nothing hinting that character even existed.
Yeah, see, that's the problem that I have with that.
No,
Okay.
God, no, it's not.
Okay, I was like,
I mean, honestly, it probably would
would
have been better, but I mean, anyway.
I'm just using it as an example to like counter to Cody.
Yeah,
Sorry.
That can work. You can do shit like that. Also, I might wind up getting disconnected. Aiden, I got a network error has occurred for whatever reason. Anyway, you can do that, but that's going to be the exact same thing if you do that too much. Where you kill your boss, you kill the boss, and you kill him really easily. Well, turns out it was just his body double.
Right. Yeah.
That's gonna get even. I think that would be even more frustrating because, man, I don't know. Unless you have like that set up already as a contingency plan, it's gonna start to feel very flat.
Yeah.
Pretty quickly.
I mean, I think that it's just if you do it too much. Like again, it is a tool that you have. Right?
Yeah.
This is something I would qualify as another mistake. And it's also kind of a very juvenile mistake. Like, so when I made my first campaign, right, I was like, I'm very specifically not going to do that to my players. There is the one big bad, and the party can catch glimpses of him. But it's always leaving because he's like, dude, I've got other things to do. I've got other machinations that are not worth you guys. Like, I could be 2 hours late for a meeting, or I could kill you guys. You guys aren't worth that meeting.
Right.
And that's why I was kind of very afraid of having that the BBEG around the players too much, because if you stat it, they will kill it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just again, like I think it's a tool, right? You can use it absolutely, but usually you want to do it beforehand, right? You usually want to have
that prepped and ready.
Yeah, and like
which is
have
why
it make sense.
In my Call of Cthulhu stuff, there are multiple contingencies in every adventure.
Yeah, sure. Exactly. So yeah, just don't do it too much and you'll be fine. Okay?
Yeah.
Fucking
And I mean, hell, honestly, froze me too. That's the kind of thing where that's the kind of thing where you would kind of need to be careful about using that even in multiple campaigns. Like, when you do it in campaign 1, then you guys beat that campaign, move on to the next one. If that happens in campaign 2, that's not gonna look very good.
No, exactly. It's, again, it's a tool. Don't overuse it.
Whereas, if you were to increase HP, that's an invisible stat.
Yeah.
That they will never see. Whereas, they can absolutely see, the boss had a body double or whatever.
Yeah. I hope my lore from last time sounds as good on paper as it did in my head. It probably will.
That usually sounds good.
Yeah. There's a Pathfinder module I ran that expects the players to go through a very specific order of actions at the beginning to get into the storyline, but I just made an NPC to do all of that instead. Then she asked the party for help with the problem she had gotten into. Yeah.
Smart.
Hey, that's a very clean, very elegant scenario.
Yeah. Oh man.
Come up with a new, bigger, badder villain that was completely unassociated with your previous big bad evil guy, and have them show up in the campaign to take whatever rewards the players have now received. What if the big bad was doing his or her own thing, and They had an even scarier, more powerful sister who now wants revenge on the party. What if someone has been spying on the big bad evil guy? And when the players show up and so easily dispatch the powerful foe, well, now the god of chaos is delighted and lures the players onto an island with all sorts of horrors and other powerful warriors on your world to fight to the death for survival. Instead of cheating your players and extending...
So you're also now saying not just to add in the next big thing, you're just saying to completely change your story entirely.
Yeah.
Which
instead of just making the... that's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, yeah.
I will also say, as someone whose DM did this in my 1-17 campaign,
Okay.
the feeling that it gives is one more of dissatisfaction with the story. Like when you're going to face down like your boss's third stand-in, you don't care as much because it is very obviously a stand-in.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, again, it's that thing. If you do it beforehand and you make it so that it's a structure that's been put into place, usually you can be fine with that. But like fucking immediately then going, oh, we're going to an island now. Let's do that. It's like, okay, well, so there's no shame. There shouldn't be any shame.
Yeah, there's no shame in doing that.
Well, in doing that, or in saying, oh, hey guys, you've killed my big bad. I guess either I need time to make up more stuff for us to do, like the next story, or we gotta, like, I have no, I have nothing to do,
nothing.
so I guess we're done for the day, you know?
Yeah, I need some time.
Right, there's no shame in admitting that you need more time.
I have done that myself with my players. I was like, guys, this went, granted, for me, it was more narratively. And I was like, guys, I saw this going a completely different direction. I'm going to need a couple weeks to write and compensate for this.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, there's no...
And I mean, honestly, that alone is kind of a big fucking ego boost, where it's like, guys, I planned this to be hard and you done fucked me up.
Yeah.
I need to fix this.
Yeah.
Congratulations, you threw a wrench in my fucking master plan.
Yeah, exactly. This may be late, but Boo got Cody right on the mark. Hell yeah. There you go.
Yeah, dude.
There you go. There's a reason Boo's a prince. Hey! Hell yeah. Anyway. Yeah, so, I guess let's keep going.
Yep.
A fight and robbing them of their moment, use it as a catalyst to expand your campaign. Your big bad monster is dead? Great! Let the players be heroes. Then pull the rug out from under them so fast it makes their heads spin. If your main plot seems anticlimactic, fine. Your play...
Okay, Cody, you are actively romanticizing bad writing.
Yeah.
What are we doing here?
Well, so, okay, so what I
you
thought
gotta
was...
have some sense of satisfaction.
Yeah.
Oh, God, dude, they are not going to expect when I pull this cheap trick on them.
Yes, exactly. I thought what he was going to say was, let them be heroes, let them revel in it for a bit, and then start your next campaign. That's what I thought he was going to say.
Yeah. No, that's what I thought as well. And then...
And then he goes, no,
you didn't win.
Fucking make him a spin on that fucking merry-go-round for a second and go, hey, I actually had this shit all along, idiot. Like, okay, I mean, you could, I suppose, but
please don't.
Like, again, no shame in admitting that you don't have more.
You could do that, but we strongly urge you not to.
let them be the hero for 2 rounds and then play a cutscene.
Yeah, exactly. God. It's like, oh my god.
Where the school fighting tournament gets interrupted by someone demanding to fight the champions. Boo, brother, I have no idea how to get to that area. The area where you are, by the way. I have no idea. I have no idea how to get to where you are.
Oh, follow your. Just follow the little things that Molly's leaving behind.
Yeah, I'm not by Molly. There are no things by me.
Oh, I can come back for you.
But yeah, so
Trust
I thought
me.
Brogan
Yeah.
was the one with the bad sense of direction
Oh
over here.
wait,
Wait.
no. There she is.
there you
Molly is catching up to me.
Oh, okay.
16-minute video. Other than the internet troubles, it was still a Cody video. There's a reason why he's still on the Legion of D and Doom. Yeah, that's
Yep.
true. Yeah, man,
Yeah.
Just fucking trick them. Just fucking do it. Make it so that they feel like they're okay and then say
Dude.
no.
By the way, I
Okay.
fell off this platform at full sprint and 180 ziplined my way back because I was like so
Nice.
scared.
Nice.
Players didn't rob you of an epic fight because they did too good. No. They threw off your shackles to that story and that plot.
Really?
Freeing you to take the story in any new direction you want now. But
I mean, so, like, sure, yes. So you don't, like, if you mean by pull the rug out from under them, start the next campaign, like, that is the next evil thing they have to go against, yeah, great, sure, let's do it, right? That's fine with me. I just, the way that you describe it makes me think that you're just gonna say, in that same day, no, fuck you, let's go. It's like, okay, but like, I don't know what you mean. I hope that you mean the thing that I said, not the thing that I think you're saying.
I know I said it before, but it really does feel like fairy tale-esque writing where
Yeah,
the fucking combat tournament arc ends.
yeah,
And then the final boss goes down like surprisingly easy. And then some fucking teenager shows up and goes,
yeah.
I want to fight the victor. And
Yeah.
the entire crowd just rolls with it for some reason.
For some reason.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And so, you know what? I actually have a story where this is effectively the intent,
Oh.
where this was to take place in my Material World campaign, which is years out, so you guys won't remember it, so it doesn't matter.
Sure.
Yeah, Alt Z recording now.
Yep, that's fine.
It's
So
gonna be on the
basically,
podcast?
I'm not going to give you any actual details, but
Yeah, yeah.
basically,
No. You said yourself we're not going to remember.
well, I'm not going to tell you the exact story because then it won't be as fun.
Right.
No, it's years out, boo. You're safe.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, it's not gonna be on the podcast or anything that we could refer
Yeah,
back to.
no, it won't be recorded.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But it was
within
actually intended
within
for you
easy
guys to
number
fight a
re-
big evil thing, and then it turns out, and this would have been foreshadowed. It would have been subtle, but it would have been foreshadowed, where you fight a big evil thing, and then it turns out that there was something eviler and bigger and worse behind it, and you had to kill the big thing to get to the bigger thing.
Yeah.
It's like, you have already failed when he appears, and that's the point. Where
So
it's
that-
like,
yeah, so that's something you've made beforehand, which
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
That was intentional. So
Yeah.
this can work, but you don't just whip it out of nowhere.
so
Boo, I am so
Hopefully.
glad that you gave me insights into your campaign at episode
no.
150, an easy number to remember and make a reference.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Because I mean, hell, I've
Um,
given Alejo like little snippets of the campaign
true.
ideas as well.
that's true. I don't remember them actually, so
And see, it hasn't
Yeah.
even been used yet.
that's right. And it's
It's only been like a number of weeks.
that's true.
Because you guys are busy motherfuckers, and I'm
that's
not.
also true. Yeah, you can rely on that. That I have more
Yeah,
things on
I mean,
my mind.
I know. I know what's up. Jack said it. There's a reason why I'm a prince.
But yeah, so like, anything can work. Like, that's the thing. Any idea can work. Absolutely. It's just about the execution of it, right? It's, you just gotta do it in the right way or set it up beforehand so that it actually flows throughout. And even if you just do it right then, you pull it out of your ass, then you could be really good at improv and like make it so that it functions, right? Like we're not saying to just not, right? It's just that unless you have that ability, or you're trying to, I suppose, if you really want to give it a shot, like you probably want to play it a little more safe, right?
Yeah.
But I guess the only way to learn is to do in some instances. So if you just want to fucking throw it out there, do it, right? I'm not going to tell you not to. I'm just going to warn you and advise you. Potentially, you might not want to do that right yet. Potentially.
It's an advanced technique.
Yes.
Your body couldn't handle it. You'll kill yourself.
That's right. Exactly.
It's an advanced technique. It's called mistaken.
It's the Matsu Hatsu Batsu Datsu technique.
That's right. If you cheat in D&D, the glass your players drag you through will know. That's right. All that mental glass, dude. Gonna hurt.
Emotional glass.
Emotional
wasn't it?
glass. Sorry.
I don't remember.
It's glass. That's all I know.
Yeah, it's fair. It's glass.
But if you want to stay in this campaign, and really what you want is to make this dungeon, this fight, more interesting. Okay, there are other ways that we can fairly cheat here as well. The second way to fairly cheat is to simply add another room. Okay, let's say hypothetically this was more of a mini-boss now. Don't double its HP in the middle of a fight. Instead, have it break through a wall or crash through the floor, leading to a whole new area of the dungeon. Maybe the Broodmother has an entire chamber of eggs ready to pop with hungry, smaller versions. Maybe your dungeon boss was secretly imprisoning and tainting a Quaddle in a chamber behind their throne. Or maybe the big bad boss...
Quaddle.
Oh, is that the winged serpent thing?
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Boss had chosen this area as a hideout because it has a huge vault locking away an entire city that sits below it. Or perhaps they just finished casting their ritual, breaking the seals of a great beast that they had planned to control. And
So I just want to
Oh, don't Diablo me.
Yeah, oh, of course. Gotta Diablo you, first off. But second off,
As long as it's not Diablo Immortals.
you could
Or
you could
Immortal.
do this. Absolutely. That's a thing you can pull out. If you can just make it seamless, you're good, right?
Yeah, that would be great, actually.
That's totally fine. This is a fine idea or set of ideas. My thing now is that you keep using this fairly cheating thing to just say, improvise.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's all you're saying is to improvise.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, there's no cheating involved. There's no, like, you're just saying to improvise, which is fine. You can do that, absolutely. Some of it'll be bad improv, some of it'll be good improv. It depends on how you get it to work and how you are as a dungeon master, right? But
What the hell do you mean that the entire session wasn't on a script?
I actually wrote this all down in my own personal notebook.
And I wrote
single
down everything
word.
that you would say.
Yes, every word uttered, and I knew exactly what you were going to do, so now you're going to go to this city that I prepared. I promise.
Like 2 seconds ago.
Like 2 seconds ago, I wrote it in the book, so it was there.
Looks awfully fresh.
Shut up. But,
I
so...
literally just saw you write that.
Shut up.
Disadvantage.
Yeah. You lose 10 HP. A rock falls.
Where?
From the ceiling. No. A traveling rock, haha, ironic, dropped it from there where they were and it hit you very hard.
Well, that doesn't really make any sense. You should have said that the fucking banister, or like one of the scaffold, or what the fuck?
Your character
Rafters,
dies!
Rafters, that's it.
But anyway, so...
Would have been more creative if one of the fucking stuffed head on the walls fell, but whatever, I'll just write up a new character. Anyway, sorry, I'm done.
No, you're good. But yeah, so, like, I don't know, like, just, instead of saying that this is all, just, I get you're trying to put this in a framework for your video to talk about
get the cheaters to want to play fairly
to get the cheaters. Yeah, exactly, right? Like, okay, like, you don't need to use that nomenclature because it's not what you're doing. You're not cheating in any way. You're just, again, either improvising or you're creating a thing that you've...
Alejo,
Oh, yeah.
He needs a fun and zippy tagline for his video.
That's right. That's true. Fair. It's not even in the... like, the... Anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. Just either call it what it is or just say maybe that you should make these as contingencies instead of having to pull them out right then, because not everybody's good at that, right? And just having it as a concept is a good idea to just get them to maybe either think about it in the moment, I guess, or to think about it beforehand so that they can plan that shit out, right? Because we can agree, Cody, right, that planning this stuff out beforehand is probably better than just ripping it right the fuck out of your ass when you have no idea what's going to go on.
So now something else that has been kind of especially with this one that's kind of we've neglected to mention is the fact that almost all of these examples have been as a result of the players killing the big bad evil guy at the end too fast. This means that you're at the end of the campaign and you should have a pretty good idea of what your characters are capable of at this point.
You would think.
Yeah.
You would think.
So, like,
literally
obviously I made the mistake of making bosses, but that was more in the mid to early game.
Right.
Where I wasn't really ready for how strong slow is because I was a 5e player before I was a 3.5 player.
That's fair.
So I didn't fully understand the power of a lot of stuff that you guys had, but once I saw it, I'm like, okay, I've got to immediately work on that, which is why I picked an Aiden that could pretend that I thought could resist it. So if you're at the final boss, you probably have a fairly good idea of what your players are capable of. And so and if you know what your players are capable of, it's not even just designing the boss to make sure it counters everything. It's, I know what they're capable of. I know how hard they crit. I'm going to come up with some backups. It's more that. At this point, you will, again, I've repeated myself about 5 times. You should know.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, hopefully, you knowing that will be enough to spur you into making backups for this exact situation.
Literally the entire reason why I am so, hesitant to give my players, power is precisely because I want to keep them very manageable.
Fair.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
That's what I should have done with Boris.
You're right, you should have.
Yeah, but hey, you have a ton of fun with Boris, and I also have fun with Boris, especially when he fails, because it's just so out of the ordinary for him to fail.
That's true.
It's not even like, fuck you, you failed. It's just, you failed with, with
weird.
those stats.
well, the issue is that Boris is meant to do, 3 things really well.
Right.
But he only ever does those 3 things.
Right.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you do. You fucking specialize hard.
Yeah.
My character knows how to play to his strength.
Yeah, and in a small party, that's kind of what you got to do.
Yeah, also true. Yeah, so
just don't suplex liches.
Hey man, if it works, it works. I don't know what you're saying, you know.
I know.
Hey, you know what? I'll say, Boo, there is one very easy, very simple way for you to not have any more suplex liches in your campaign.
Don't have liches.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I knew it.
Let's see. Off topic, but I saw a lore video on the City of Brass and the Plane of Fire. Damn, it was cool. Yeah, dude, it's super cool. I wonder what it would be like to play as a fire genie. Yeah.
Cool.
Shit, I knew their names. I actually did something in the City of Brass once, but it was like a one-shot thing, and then it never went into anything, and they barely got anywhere. So,
shame.
But it was. I read about it, and I was like, "Oh, that's fun. Let's do it."
And then they did not do it.
Not really. No, they got in there, and then it really just became a big chase scene, and that was it.
Oh,
which was pretty cool, to be fair. I had fun, but, you know.
yeah.
With their dying breath, they laugh because they know the players will have no way to control it now. The third option.
So is that not
Chief
taking
Fairley.
away agency?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
His random definition, I don't know.
Yeah.
Is really the biggest gray area of cheating, but it's still more fair than fudging hit points. And that's to give your big fight a second phase. The second phase...
You just suggested that with the bursting through the walls and stuff. And
No,
you-
that wasn't the second phase. That was like unlocking another encounter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess I would count, like, if you unlock a second encounter that joins with the first, I would count that as a second phase, personally, but I suppose.
Well, the example that he gave was like the brood mother
yeah.
runs into the wall and dies, and then that's where all the eggs are. And now you have to
Oh, did
fight
it
her
die? I must have
offsprings.
missed that it was dead. Okay.
That's what I assume.
That's
Oh.
that's what I assumed as well.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. I just didn't, because he didn't say die as far as
He
I was
didn't.
aware, so
He did not.
that's why I didn't assume so. Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Well, if
I
that's
must
the
assume
case,
so
then-
for my sanity.
Sure, absolutely.
Oh, hang on, I gotta
I'm calling
roll
that some
Oh,
ammo.
never mind.
is a great tool more dungeon masters should use because
grab the
it
vacuum
does
and
three
I'll
things.
spray them.
First,
Okay.
it creates variance in the fight, which is always a positive. Secondly,
Sure.
it makes your world seem more interesting and magical. And thirdly, the most important, it gives your players a sense of accomplishment that giving your big boss a huge pile of straight hit points just doesn't do. They beat the first phase, they're winning, they're progressing the fight. Now, this
Okay, so again,
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
do it beforehand. First off, right? Just so that you already have it prepared. That way, it doesn't feel like you're just pulling it out of your ass, right? Like that way that you can make them all feel like, oh, I'm good at what I do. Yes. But so the other thing that I have to stress, because we've stressed it a bunch in different things things here, is this is another tool. Don't
Yes.
overdo it,
Yes.
right? Because if you do it for all of your bosses and everything that is kind of a mini boss or whatever,
Right.
you know, give it a bunch of different phases, like it can wear thin. Definitely.
Fuck. No. I'm
Hmm.
no. Sorry.
Yeah,
I'm
we're-
just.
yeah, it's
Oh,
just
deep rock. Gotcha.
getting real.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh fuck! I'm going to wind up. I'm gonna
This is
fall
a
again.
little
Yeah,
harder to
okay.
pull off, but I'm going to give you guys a little key here to it, all right? The moment
you're
you
there,
realize
okay.
that the players are tearing through your big fight like tissue paper and that you decide you want to try this thing, stop and foreshadow it. Seriously foreshadow it. So let's say you want to give your big, strong boss a second phase that would include them turning into a demon. Okay, that's a strong second phase right there. Well, you need to foreshadow to your players that all may not be what it seems while they are still fighting. So perhaps a light in the room reveals the powerful foe has an odd-shaped shadow with wings and horns. Or
Sure.
maybe their eyes
Yeah.
close sideways like the alien.
This is definitely, yes, if you're going to do it right then, this is a good way to do it. Foreshadowing
Yeah.
something so that it
Yeah.
doesn't feel like it's just
Yeah,
thrown
so-
on them.
So it's not pulled. So it doesn't feel as pulled out of your ass.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
Like, yes, this is good advice. I agree. Let's do that. Okay. If you're not going to come up with it beforehand, and if you're going to do it in the moment, absolutely give them signs. If they miss the signs, that's on them.
Yeah, that's on them.
But if you're giving the
Motherfucker.
signs, you know,
Mm.
should be okay.
This thing hits hard.
It does. I hate this thing.
A lich in 2 turns? What? Yeah. There are things you can do in designing battles to make sure they go in for more rounds, or they go on for more rounds. Having planned reinforcements arrive is one of them. Yeah. If you plan it out beforehand and have reinforcements arrive, absolutely.
Boo! You should have had your lich's shadow be shaped like a sumo wrestler.
Oh, I should have. Yeah.
Just immediately smushes Boris as it transforms.
Yep.
And Men in Black, or perhaps even you can see a crystal around their neck beginning to bleed and shatter and crack as the fight progresses. That way, when the boss drops to the ground huffing and puffing, you can have them stand up, ripping and stretching their outer skin as a huge winged demon appears for the second phase of the fight. And one more little trick that is along the lines of the last two tips, whether that
Oh, an error occurred while streaming. Oh, awesome.
Oh no.
It completely killed my stream. Oh, cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
not good.
We're still recording, though, so that's nice.
Okay, well.
Wait, what the fuck? Okay, hold on. Yeah, it just completely killed that. What the fuck? Hold on. Let me, get this back set up.
Yep, you're good. Okay.
It should be transferring. Should be good now. That was weird. Yeah, it must be.
There we go.
Is it the? Because that was saying it was the NVEC. Hold on.
Okay, finally.
The
Hate
video
these damn things.
encoder fucking is messing up.
Oh,
That doesn't make any sense. Oh, wait.
doesn't make sense.
It might if I look at something because it's been a while. Since I have. No, that's the latest driver. Okay. Let me look into this really quick, everybody. My apologies. I don't know what the fuck.
Boo, there's an inner pearl by the
Oh, yeah, okay.
by the back.
Yep. I'm getting this last mule.
Yeah.
Fix encoding overload, reducing frames.
You
I
see
did
anything else
that.
on the roof, you just let me know and I can give you a platform to it.
Oh yeah. Give me a second to drop off this inner pearl, and I'll start turning my attention roofward.
I already put platforms on most of it, but just in case I missed anything. There we go.
No, that's
Yeah.
the encoder that I'm using. Okay, weird. Alright, well, I guess I'll have to do some test streams later on just to see if something will change if I do a couple of things. So, in the future, if you're looking at this, hey, there's gonna be some weird times of test streams, definitely. So, anyway.
Just make sure they're not Halo.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so reinforcements, right, that's right. Anyway.
that's
Yeah, no,
including
reinforcements is good.
another room or giving your boss a second phase. And that's to teleport everyone to another area. This can be used as both a non-optional phase, sucking everyone in the room into a
Okay,
crystalline
so that's
world
also
where
removing
they have
agency.
to fight the
Yeah, if by his definition, yeah.
That's the thing.
Okay. Ooh. So, again, this is something that you kind of want to have planned ahead. Because just dropping that one, but you don't really want to use that one, I would think.
Yeah. A forced teleport is not a great idea.
Because, like, imagine, I don't know, say, unless you're able to, like, come back and, like, get to that previous location.
Yeah.
Because imagine, you know, you fight the boss, you go in the first phase, somebody dies in the first phase, or they go down and they had, like, a very important item on them that they need, and then you get teleported away. That'd be bad.
Yeah, I feel like...
Or even more important, the boss's loot.
Yeah. Yeah, I think...
And teleporting the dead boss is a pussy move.
Yeah.
Unless it's like a dead man switch, literally.
Yeah, it could...
Yeah.
So, it really matters how you set this up.
Yes.
Boo, can I get a second platform on each of this one? I know that's a bit of a tall ask. But, like, it's, like, really hard to get to the edge of that platform because of how the nitro sticks out.
One shot. Oh, shit. Nope. There you go.
But, yeah, so, I think,
there.
like you said, Boo, I think that if you have it so that they go to, like, maybe a demi-plane, right? And then you have, like, crystals that... It has to be obvious as to how they get back, because you've really interrupted the flow of the fight,
like,
right?
You know, the boss teleports you there, and then as soon as he dies, you know, you come back.
Sure, yeah, that as well. I just mean, like, if you're... I don't know, I guess I need his full thing of this, because I don't know what he's trying to go for, I suppose. Are we keeping the boss alive? What are we doing here,
so this is the second phase. So, for example, the guy turns into the demon, and then it teleports them to a new place and stuff, which, again...
Well,
If we're
so
going by his logic, that removes agency
yeah,
because they're forcibly teleported.
yeah. If it's teleporting everyone and not the boss, then it's like,
Oh, no, it would be teleporting the boss as well to like a new arena.
Well then so
I don't
that's
understand
fine.
the purpose.
Like, yeah, I guess what's the unless it's
Why?
unless it is part of that second phase of like now he has access to like layer abilities, quote unquote, right? Like things that he can do in this new place that he couldn't do where he was before. That's fine, right?
Yeah, something like if the boss staggers back when and then goes, ah, shit. And it's like, I don't know, the fucking Doctor Strange circles his hand around. And a portal that you can't see through appears and he jumps through it. Then that is a very clear indicator to the party that this is stage 2. The boss is probably gonna have layer actions now. Their stats are probably gonna be buffed. But it does something very crucial. It keeps agency in the player's hands.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
like,
now they have the option to follow it through.
Exactly. They chose to walk through the portal.
Yes.
Because here's the other thing. Something else they could do, it probably wouldn't wind up working because the boss just opened the portal, but they could, I don't know, close the portal.
Yeah. I mean, they could do whatever the hell they want to do at that moment. As long as you give them options and don't force them to. Because if it is a forced teleport and it's like everybody goes with him, like that's at least not as bad as forcing the teleport and they're not with him, right?
Yeah.
Like, and that's, I mean, the whole party. If it's just a single player, like, gets, banished or whatever, that's different, right? Because that's just a targeted thing, and then they come back after a little while.
That's just they failed their...
Yeah, exactly. And, like, that's just up to the other players to do things, which... It sucks, sure, you're not going to be in the fight / doing much of anything for a little while, but that's just how it works sometimes, right? I don't think it's a bad thing to happen. It's just, and plus, like, you're safe, which means when you come in, you're full strength or whatever strength you were at the time, right? And again,
actually, can you use items when you're banished?
No, you can't do anything.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say,
you're
you
just
drink a potion while you're banished.
Pretty sure.
No,
well,
you are considered incapacitated in your native plane.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
I thought it banished you to a specific plane, though.
Tiny little demi-plane or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never been banished, I couldn't tell you.
I could have sworn... Hold on.
I got you. Banishment.
If the target is native to the plane of existence you're on, you banish the target to a harmless demi-plane.
Ah.
Yeah, so you are actually somewhere, so you could be doing stuff.
Yeah, so you can just heal while you're banished. So you could come back at full strength, as opposed to, you know, the strength that you were.
It really depends on what you do. So you still have a turn and stuff, so...
Yeah.
It's you still have a turn, but you spend your turn doing the will save again. That's what it is.
Oh, really?
If you want to come back to the fight immediately, which we all did.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So
you can spend time buffing up though, and make the creature fucking regret that banish.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's still actually something that you can still do stuff with. Okay.
Oh, okay. So wait a minute. Hang on. Can you? Sorry, this is just me brainstorming. Can you have? Okay, so you get banished. You're in the small demi-plane. Is it always the same one? Or could you design a spell that made it always the same one?
You could probably design one if you wanted to, I suppose, but it has to be a harmless one, so...
Yeah.
So then here's what you do. You get a paladin or a warrior or fighter or whatever and a wizard to set up a fucking pocket dimension where you have all these different weapons stored. So it's like, oh shit, that's a big fucking dragon. We need our dragon lance.
Sure.
Wizard, fucking send me to the armory.
I wonder,
you banish him, you grab it, and then the wizard auto lets him succeed the will save, and then you're out there with a new weapon.
Yeah, I wonder if you could.
Golly, this sounds like just a worse bag of holding.
Yeah.
But
That's
it's
the other
cooler,
thing.
though.
No, it is. It is.
How are you gonna
cooler.
fit a
It-
Dragonlance in a bag of holding, you big
No,
dick?
Easily.
It is. Yeah. Also that.
But here's the thing. If say you wanted to do this with armor, doffing and donning armor takes time.
It does.
Yeah, but the spell's duration is concentration up to 1 minute.
Yeah, only a minute.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
never mind, damn.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, like it's
So
a
unless-
thing you could do, but
Unless if they're getting fucking banished to like, oh fuck, what's that Dragon Ball Z thing?
The
the
hyperbolic
hyperbolic
time chamber.
time chamber.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, you guys entertain
sorry
for a
to
little
interrupt.
bit. I have to use the bathroom so bad.
Okay.
I'll be right.
It's gonna
back.
be another blind let's play
Oh hell yeah! Do it.
of Deep Rock.
All right. Enjoy, everybody. Here we go.
Yep. Aiden, I'm calling down all these resupplies.
Okay, cool.
Oh damn it! Do you
I-
have any more nitra? I need 13 more.
I have 10 Magnite and that's it.
Damn. Okay.
How many do you have?
We have a full resupply and then one left of a resupply down in there, and then I've got another full resupply up here. I'm just using it to get platforms because I'm putting a roof on the whole area.
Oh Jesus, okay.
So that way we don't have to fight any bugs.
Tell you what, if you're cool, just like chilling out for a bit, I can do exploring.
You can what?
Do some exploring.
Oh yeah, sure. Just let me know if you wind up needing any platforms, and I won't be able to spare them because these are expensive to make roofs.
Fuck. I know I didn't go down this one. Nope. Tell you what, actually, I'm actually fine on like combat ammo if you need to double dip. to
Oh
get
no, I
some
was going to
more-
use this one all myself.
Well, I was gonna say, like, if you need to like borrow more, like the recharges, I guess you would call them the little 4 white things that come in a resupply. If you
Oh,
want
yeah,
to
no.
if you want to just take more than your share,
Oh my god. How
and
could
build
you?
a roof.
Yep. Yeah, I should be able to finish it with this resupply pod. I think I've almost got it. I just gotta wait for this sandstorm to end.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So
I'll only have 6 flares, but what's it matter when you're not fighting?
Well, I mean, there's more resupply pods down there in the actual area where we'll be
What's
quote
it
fighting.
matter when you're not fighting?
let's
Just
see.
offering, jeez.
Has anyone made a city of brass in Minecraft? Oh, probably.
Oh,
I'd be surprised if they haven't,
Yeah.
or somebody
Yeah.
hasn't at least tried.
Yeah. I guess you can give your boss a ring of greater teleportation if you're willing to risk letting your players have a ring of greater teleportation. True. With Minecraft, I suffer from my usual FPS motion sickness. That sucks. There you go.
Oh, that's a shame.
For the banishment plane armory, there is a wizard spell that gives you a magical chest that can be stored in a demiplane. That is true.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought I was being clever. I was not.
No, sorry. Nothing is original. Never assume.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
guess I just kind of liked the idea of you like going in there and then suiting up with all your heavy hitter shit, and then
Yeah, it'd be
you know,
cool.
you pop
but-
out. It's like, oh shit, you're fucking, you got like it's the Superman fucking phone booth type thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
How
Gotcha.
do you go to a demi-plane and come out with abs?
We're
Who is that? Oh my god!
Never seen that adventurer before in my life.
That'd actually be really funny if they had that
Yeah.
like as this like a superhero style setting. That'd
Yeah.
be fucking funny.
Actually, having that happen and the fucking encoder die for a second and then having to restart it has actually helped the frame rate. And
Oh, that's good.
And the
So
bit
then it
rate.
seems like it was just something that you needed to turn on and off again.
Dude, I think what I'm gonna do after this is export the TableTalk stuff so that I can just have it imported into it again as I reinstall it, because I think it just needs, because this has been happening for a little bit of like sometimes when I try to start the stream it'll say, oh, the encoder has failed to encode, and I'm like, oh cool, I don't okay.
Yeah, let's just do it anyway.
But then I just turn it off and on again and then it's fine, so I don't know.
Yeah.
So anyway, maybe the boss could run away through a wardrobe and end up in Narnia. True. Yes. Okay. So let's hear what he was saying about stuff.
The last 2 tips, whether that's including another room or giving your boss a second phase. And that's
I
to
don't think there's
teleport everyone to another area. This can be used as both a non-optional phase, sucking everyone in the room into a crystalline world where they have to fight the boss again with now new powers and a fresh set of hit points, or even a more fair way to do this.
Isn't that
more fair?
Teleporting optional. So
Oh, okay, so he gets to the point of saying it's optional. Okay, there you go. At least he says make it optional. Okay, we're good.
Hold on. I need to hear his verbiage because I think he says even more.
Yes, he did. You're right. No, he said it even more fair or something. Absolutely.
Yeah, I need to hear it.
fight the boss again with now new powers and a fresh set of hit points. Or even a more fair way to do this to your players is to make the teleporting optional.
So I will err on the side of caution in Cody's favor. Because he says even a more fair option. Which means that he could be like saying the even as like a way of like trying to transition to a new idea instead of saying it's even more fair. He's just like, you could even a more fair idea is this.
Potentially.
And that would be significantly less bad.
Cringe.
Yeah, I mean, best faith, you know.
Yeah. It's all we can do.
Yeah.
Yep.
I continue my trend of being. I fight for the people that we watch.
All right.
Sure.
Aiden, come on down in.
Hold on.
The only thing that
Now, boo, there is one problem. These creatures can dig through walls.
Oh, I know. But we have a roof. So
Yeah, no, like
your argument is invalid.
Hold on, let me light this place up.
So, what I was gonna say is, at least he's like you were saying before, he's saying like teleporting everybody into the new second phase location. That's at least better than just pulling
forcing it.
Yeah, pulling the wool. Putting the wool over their eyes, I suppose. Or pulling the rug out from under them, with no warning. I mean, it still is, but
it's more fair. It's fair cheating.
Well, yeah. Right, exactly. Yeah, so like it's better than the other options, I suppose, because the other ones were weird. But the ultimate having it be optional is the best one, I think. So
there we go.
If they see the villain being pulled into a portal into the shadow plane or a crystal as before, they can choose to follow or not. The reason that this is more fair is because that they have entered into this fight with expectations that you, as the Dungeon Master, have helped shape for them.
Yes.
So if you're going to start throwing wild stuff at them that you haven't hinted at or foreshadowed at all leading up to this point, it's only fair sometimes that you give them that choice to follow or not.
Yeah. Sometimes, I'm sorry. Oh, give them the ability to choose is only sometimes fair? Okay.
Yeah.
Weird. I mean, to be entirely fair.
To be fair.
You said to give them the choice sometimes.
Right.
What do you mean by that?
What do you mean by that?
What do you mean by that? Yeah, no, so I think that there are some times where you have something that does surprise, right? Like that's fine to have on occasion, absolutely, and does force things in certain directions. Sure, it can happen of like this forced teleport, for instance. That can be something that does happen, but as was said, usually you want it to be a foreshadowed kind of thing.
If this thing lands outside the house, I'm gonna be so pissed.
And for that, I think that you would want to have this in your plan from the beginning, right?
There it is. Good. My God.
Because when you're in that fight and then just going, ooh, looks like he's gonna do a thing, and then you just go, bam! Oh, the crystal breaks open and it causes a portal that sucks everybody in. It's like, okay, well, so did you potentially beforehand you could have given them ideas of this crystal, when broken, can create a portal that sucks in things, right? Like you could give them clues to that. To make it so that it is just something they know that could happen, right? And then it gives them the option of, well, do we fight him and not try to get the crystal off him, or do we just fight him and try to get that crystal off him so that he doesn't do the thing, right? In which case, you've then given them another tactical option that they might take to then remove this crystal, thus negating your second phase of your boss fight. But this also implies that you've thought about all this beforehand, and you've planned all this beforehand as options that they could have. So I'm already, like, going far away from what he's talking about, of saying just improvise in the moment. So, really, fuck me, I guess. Excuse me. Back also for buff closest tiny hut or magical mansion are fun choices. That's true.
That would honestly be the better one, because it's just
they
a
still
house.
take time to be made, though. So you can't just do it in the moment. Quick question: do you think you guys could do a stream where you do stuff in Minecraft, like looking at builds of TTRPG places? Potentially.
Maybe. Sure, maybe.
Pretty neat.
It's an idea. I just hope the portal doesn't create a Delta P situation. I don't know what Delta P is. I don't know. Anyway.
Is this some newfangled reference that the zoomies are talking about that I'm too much of a boomy to understand?
No, I don't think so. No, I don't.
You're not a boomer. You're a millennial.
That's right.
You're a millennialer.
Technically, I am Gen Z.
Yeah, I was trying to get the mix of a millennial and zoomer, but that's kind of a hard word to mix.
Zoomer.
Yeah,
you're
right.
a zoom.
Melenzi.
Okay, that works.
Oh, and by escaping into a new area, I don't just mean automatically let your boss escape either. That sucks every bit as much. But it is fair to your players for the villain to try to attempt to escape. So if they take attacks of opportunities and drop before they make it into that portal, for instance, well, then now you have an open portal and no longer a villain to worry about. And you get to take the story in any direction you want. Or here's a cool idea. If they die trying to escape to the portal, just have their shadow stand up and out of their dead body and walk through the portal anyways. Or even have a cloaked figure with the scythe slowly walk.
So I guess just make it so that what they did doesn't matter, I suppose.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, if you want to. Again, if you
Again,
had
he
it
needs
planned
to stop writing
beforehand,
for himself.
sure, but yeah, I don't. Okay.
Walk through and collect the body, teleporting the players away if they try to interfere.
Okay, all right. So now,
and that's even
like again.
I don't understand that through line, but okay.
You can do things, but your mileage may vary when and how you do them, depending on your execution and everything. So, okay.
Man, this sounds really hard. You know what I think I'll do? I think I'll just increase the HP.
Yeah, it sounds like I need to just. Oh God.
Sounds like that would be a lot easier and have like similar effects.
Maybe just do things beforehand and not just do things in the moment. Potentially,
yeah.
I don't know.
Fucking
if
hell.
It's really something that you really are worried about to this degree, plan for it beforehand. Okay, that's my advice to you.
A lot of things that you can do to make a scene or fight more interesting if it's too short, rather than just making the fight longer by lying about how much health the big bad has halfway through and stealing agency from your players. All you have to do is try something. And who knows?
And potentially steal their agency anyway. Who knows?
Yeah. Cody, the problem with the advice you give is I can already see the scenario setting up now. New DM throws a boss fight at his players. He gives his boss a ton of really cool things.
Mm.
The players burst down the boss.
Mm.
New DM goes, I will do what the man who has played 10,000 hours of D&D did, and forcibly teleport my players. And then that way, those unique attacks that I gave to my boss only actually happened during phase 2, so my players will think I planned this all along.
Yeah.
Do you see how that may be a problem, Cody? Oh, dude, that's a sick mask.
Yeah, dude.
It's not so much a zoomer thing as a deep sea thing. Oh, are you referring to what we're doing? The P.
The Titan disaster?
No. I don't know.
Well, technically, Delta P does mean a change in pressure.
That's
Oh.
fair. The portal doesn't create a delta P situation. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, no, you might be right then. Deep sea. Yeah. Good job.
Destructive.
It might be that Callus.
I don't understand, Alejo. Can you explain? I was born with a smooth brain.
He was. All right, I'm
What?
going to be done with Deep Rock now. I'm going to start painting.
You
Yeah,
just
same.
explained it. What? Confused.
Delta P can mean a change in pressure.
Yeah.
How does a change in pressure relate to a portal?
The portal to the deep sea.
Yeah.
I thought you. Okay. I thought that's why you made the connection.
No,
I'm sorry. I
I
assumed that you were.
I just meant delta in scientific notation means a change in,
Sure.
or it can mean fire or heat, or it can mean a lot of
Okay,
things. But
so it's a fire
ti-
under the sea, is
tip-
what we're saying.
tip-
Gotcha.
Typically, it is used to mean change, like delta F or whatever, and P in physics is usually pressure.
With the buffering, I'm not sure what Corey Cozy is saying. Sorry. You'll see it in the VOD. Don't worry about it.
Oh,
By
fuck.
the way, Remnant 2 is out now. Anyway.
I know.
Oh, fuck yeah. It is, I just realized what time it was. I gotta go.
Okay. No worries.
Bye now.
Goodbye. Okay, we're almost done anyway, so let's finish this thing out, I suppose.
Yep.
Your players, all you have to do is try something. And who knows? It might be that catalyst. It might be that catalyst from turning a good campaign into an epic campaign.
Could be the opposite too, I suppose.
Yeah.
So, okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah, try it, I suppose. Like, that's fine. Sure.
All right, so now I want to pass it over to you guys in the community. What do? You've got a huge fight for your boss planned, months of the campaign building to this point, and your players are just wrecking shop. What do? Do you let it happen? Do you fudge a couple of saving throws or double up hit points in the middle of a fight? Do you take it off in a new direction? How do you handle it? What other ways did I not cover in this video that might inspire someone's next great campaign? Let me know in the argument section down below. If this is your first time here and you love role-playing games as much as I do, I would love to have you subscribe. I put out videos on DM tips, player tips, tutorials, and more stuff just like this. So if that sounds like something you might be interested in, just hit the subscribe button down below and come join us. I want to give a massive shout out and thank you to all the incredible, sexy patrons over at welcomeadventurers.com. Guys, it's because of you that I get to keep doing this, and for that, I'm so incredibly grateful. If you guys like what I do here, you want to support more content like this and snacks and rewards for yourself, like hopping in a one-on-one meeting with me, I've just actually opened up a few extra slots, so there's still time to jump in this month and meet with me face-to-face, talk about your campaign, your characters, whatever else is on your mind. WelcomeAdventures.com is a great place to do that. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Cody, and may your games be filled with those awesome memories and even better friends. I'll catch you guys next time.
I just wonder.
A very long sign off.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a lot of stuff, I suppose. I wonder if he's doing just Patreon exclusive stuff at the moment, you know, since he hasn't released a video in 8 months.
Yeah, could be.
I wonder. I mean, sure. I mean, that's fair enough. You're doing it for the people that are actually paying. That makes sense to me. Yeah. It's a video.
Yeah.
It's definitely a video.
Yeah.
Oh, I ran into a video of a large shark getting sucked into a small dredge pipe and have had it on my mind ever since. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
bad. Too much pressure difference and your body's going through it no matter what. Very true.
Mm-hmm.
Very true. Yeah, I mean, that's I mean, again, I immediately was like, okay, this could be a slam dunk, easy, but you see how long we took.
Yep.
It's how it is.
It's a Cody video.
It is a Cody video. One of those few and far between ones now.
Yep.
Really hasn't changed much.
Nope.
At all, really.
Still writing for himself. Still missing like a lot of like contradictions and shit.
Seems it.
It's like, don't take away your players' agency, and then he suggests a thing that flat out takes your players' agency.
Yeah, by his definition. So good old stuff. Good old contradictions. Very good.
Yep.
Well, I suppose we'll read comments, which is going to take a little bit, and then we'll be done for the evening. So get out of this and go over here and now for those of you who are still in the live stuff, it'll probably be a little choppy, but my apologies. It'll be better in the actual VOD, so look forward to that. Okay. So got a couple of things. There we go. I don't know why it did that, but hey. Oh. Okay. So, one of these is a 4-part comment from Lux, so this will be a big old thing there. Like 4 individual comments that have been strung together, so a lot of stuff to go over. So, patience. First off, we have Timothy over on our last episode saying, "Hello, bros." Hello. Well, this was a really nice video to see, very well made, easy to follow, and a really cool and fun sounding way to do CR and battles. Plus, that site he made was awesome. It's true. You should go and check it out if you haven't. In other news, I think I have some money and the merchant guilds and how they work in my world lore. Okay. First,
when you said merchant guild, I immediately thought of Zetzintak.
First things first, if the readers are aware of those Pangea maps that show one large landmass, my world is mostly like that, with some islands dotted around the ocean. I've not put it on paper in my mind how big this landmass is, but I do know that it's bigger than Canada. Okay. With about 50 kingdoms of all sizes. Fun fact, the west branch of the IMO is on an island because it's the farthest western point of land with a city on it. Okay. The money works like this: 5 copper to a silver, 10 silver to a gold, and 15 gold to a platinum. Okay. As for the merchants guilds, I suppose why is my question immediately. You don't need to give me a reason, I suppose, but it just immediately goes like, why not just the round kind of numbers, I suppose. But it doesn't matter to me too much. As for the Merchants Guild, one word for them would be madness. Each kingdom has its own guild that sets the market prices for that kingdom, and the rulers of those kingdoms keep an iron grip on them, with kings and queens and lords holding high spots in them. The reason why this happens is the old days, there was one big guild for everything, but the kingdoms could not or would not agree on prices, whether from greed or just because they did not like an item and wanted it to be dirt cheap or not sell it at all. For example, one king saw his father get killed with a golden axe, therefore he wanted to stop selling all gold in his kingdom. Since gold coins are a thing he hated the coins too, by the way, you see why nobody could go along with that. Yeah, that's true. A bunch of wars even happened over this problem. In fact, the chaos made the IMO try harder to keep itself as one of the course, of course, the branches formed, but that was just to make things more easy to handle across such a large landmass. With the markets in such disorder, many loopholes can be used if one sees fit, such as if you get a loaf of bread in a place for 3 copper, then sell it in a place where it sells for 5 platinum, that'd be big. as well as being put in a big house for entering a kingdom with something that is outlawed, despite that thing just being an apple. Also, merchant certification only counts in the place it was given, with only a few merchants being allowed to work in all kingdoms. The only items that have a fixed price are magic items. The IMO makes sure of that. Well, that's all I got for now. Hopefully that was fun to read. Have a nice day. Thank you. Yeah, yeah, it makes sense that you would have different prices in different places, and that's how trade is happen, or profit is happened from trade. Absolutely. And yeah, illegal items also make sense. So yeah. Sexy patron. Yeah, I know. My comments are going to be books for now for a while, probably. All right, there you go. Also on that video, we have Unit Rico saying, I've definitely thought about how cool it would be to have some kind of combat simulation program so testing encounters becomes easier, and man, it's great to see someone actually made one. Yeah, absolutely. It's a good fucking thing. Alright, so, Lux comment. Ugh, let me just
Here we
stretch
go.
a little bit.
Get comfortable.
Woo! Here we go. So you know how I thought I wouldn't have any more world building to post for a while? Well, I have more world building to post. Also, It's another super long one, so I'll break it up into child posts again. I could probably split it into 2 parts, but I'll go for 3 just to be safe. This will probably be a common thing. I'll number the parts this time so they don't accidentally get read out of order. This preamble will be part 1 of 4. Okay, thank you. If I do that again, I'll feel bad. Part 2 of 4. When precisely the Dawn Era ended is a matter of some debate. Some scholars mark the transition by the event known as the Enora Incident, when the army of Dragato occupied Argondus and placed Queen Jarin upon the Valsyrian throne, establishing Dragatoan political dominance over Valsyrian for the rest of the latter kingdom's existence. Others contend that the era ended with the signing of the Treaty of Maikot, which ended the First Coalition War, in which an alliance of kingdoms attempted to force the restoration of Valsyrian independence, only to end as vassals themselves. The last and largest school of thought ends the era with the Unity Proclamation at the end of the final Unification War, when King Vaskar Dragato legally abolished what remained of the old kingdoms and declared himself emperor of a single Dragatoan empire. To understand this transition, we will first look more closely at the history of its most prominent actor. Also, I don't know if you spotted the map I dropped in Discord, but that's there in art appreciation because I don't know where else to put it. Oh, okay. Cool. I have not looked at it just yet because I have not been online for a little while, but I will go and take a peek. Anyway, as has been stated, the kingdom of Dragato was originally settled by Skalin, who migrated to the highlands north of the land that would become Valsyrian to guard Argondus against invasions by the demon Moor barbarians. The society formed was originally no more than a loose alliance of warbands that agreed to avoid fighting one another and eventually developed a common tribal identity. As time passed and the children of Shadonus faded from living memory, some of these bands began to also look to the lands to the south as targets for their own raids. Though this was not generally condoned, the tribes that rejected this practice could do little to stop those responsible. For all the damage they caused, these southern raids did little to stop the new Salu rulers of Argondus from uniting Valsyrian as a single kingdom. The raids did, however, provoke animosity from the new kingdom, and it was not long before a war broke out. At its outset, this war seemed to favor the Dragatos, who lived and fought in the same essential manner as the northern tribes, never establishing permanent settlements in need of defense, never attacking without a tactical advantage, whittling enemy numbers down through hit-and-run tactics, and destroying any pursuers by ambush. The Valsyrians used used to claiming victory by the capture of fortresses and cities, did not at first know how to respond to this way of fighting, and suffered many losses in the first several years. But the Dragatos were likewise unable to deal with Valsyrian fortifications, and soon gave up on any attempt at that endeavor. As the war dragged into decades, the Valsyrians learned to replicate the Dragato methods of fighting, and adventuring Valsyrian rangers began taking a devastating toll on Dragato numbers. Facing the threat of complete destruction, the traditionally independent Dragato chieftains met in an informal council and decided to sue for peace as a single body. Although many Valsyrians called for a more punitive settlement, the view which prevailed in the royal court was an oppressive policy against the Dragatos. Was that an oppressive policy against the Dragatos would only open the door to future conflict. Furthermore, the Dragato tribe was all that stood between Valsyrian's borders and the truly hostile tribes of the far north. Through collaboration between the leaders of both sides, it was mutually agreed that the war had in fact been an affront to the traditions of both peoples. However, as Valsyrians had attained clear strategic superiority through the blood of its own soldiers, the court could not ratify a peace without some advantages, and there was a very real concern that the conflict could be repeated if conditions returned to their pre-war status. Ultimately, the Dragatos agreed to reorganize their society as a formal state and accept vassalage to Valsyrian. With this agreement, the Grand Duchy of Dragato was created, and descendants of the Dragatos would thereafter be known as Dragatoans. Dragato would eventually grow strong enough in relation to Valsyrian to gain recognition as an independent kingdom, though the two states always maintained their defensive alliance. Part 3 of 4. Despite this agreement, and a cadre of soldiers sent from Valsyrian to oversee its implementation, the Dragatoans never fully embraced the southern traditions, and their society became more of a hybrid of tribal and settled practices. Particularly in military and religious matters, the Dragatoans clung to their ancient tribal ways to the greatest possible extent, producing a two-tiered system of government and a hereditary tribal hierarchy at the top, served by a bureaucratic administration limited to the governing of civil affairs. While it was entirely commonplace for scholars of low birth in other kingdoms to rise to the highest levels of administration within their states, those bureaucrats would always remain mere commoners in the minds of Dragatoan nobility. Agriculture was tolerated as a necessity to support a growing population, but the tribal class long regarded it as an abuse of the land, continuing to rely on hunting, herding, and foraging to feed themselves for many centuries. Warriors rarely did the actual work of herding for themselves, but they owned the flock and everything produced from it. This view often caused herders to receive preferential treatment over farmers in the allotment of land, leaving the latter to scratch out a meager living on poor soil, which in turn sometimes led to food shortages for the entire kingdom. Even when harvests were abundant, it was not unheard of for a noble whose flock had done poorly to devour the farmers themselves sooner than touch the food they had raised.
Jesus.
This practice was not even made illegal until quite late in the Dawn era, and not fully suppressed before its end. The initial decline of their population in the war left the Dragatoans vulnerable in its aftermath to the northern raiders, whose attacks had not stopped at any point. Though a great deal of aid was sent by Valsyrian during this time to support the defensive effort, and quite a few Valsyrian veterans unable to settle back into a peaceful life returned to offer their service to their former enemies, the Dragatoans struggled during this time to survive as a people. As a result, their ways grew harder and more militaristic than they had ever been before. Members of the tribal warrior class were expected to fully devote themselves to a life of rigorous martial training, and all free members of society were required to maintain proficiency with a weapon. The spirit of fierce independence held by the Dragatos of the past soon disappeared. A strict military hierarchy was now enforced upon the tribal class, and every warrior was taught to obey the orders of a commander without question. Immediate summary execution was the consequence of any hesitation or failure to comply. Those who were unable or unwilling to accept this lifestyle were demoted to the common class, and the families of those demoted were not allowed to treat them as relatives. Even the firstborn child of a high noble could end up serving as a stable hand. However, even those who were not born to the tribe could be accepted into its fold if they upheld these requirements.
I don't think I want to.
At the establishment of the Grand Duchy, the common class had immediately consisted of the non-combatant laborers of the Dragato tribe, in quotes, because all Dragatos would participate in combat if necessary, and all alive at the time probably had. Soon added to these numbers were the scholars sent from Valsirion, who were to be disappointed by the lack of defense or deference shown to them, but who did the work they were sent to do all the same. These scholars were joined by a hodgepodge of criminals and debtors arrested in Valsirion and offered a chance at a new life under Dragatone rule as part of the royal court's policy of strengthening its new northern bulwark. Finally came a stream of voluntary migrants from other lands, many of whom had fallen on hard times and had little place else to turn. Thus, in the span of about 100 years, Dragato was transformed from a sparsely populated wilderness into a proper country with towns, villages, and even a fair number of fortresses. Let me take a drink here for a second. Oh, goodness. Okay. Part 404. If a Dragatone warrior's life was hard, a commoner had little more to expect than drudgery and horror. To be fair, this was true to a certain extent of all commoners in the Dawn lands, but those in the lands of the Dragato faced exceptional poverty, owing as much to poor soil and exposure to northern raiders as to harsh laws and overlords. All things considered, the laws may have saved them from even harder times, forcing as much productivity as could have been squeezed from what little was available and preventing the level of starvation that could have occurred if decadence and sloth were tolerated. But the life was certainly a hard one, hardest of all for those who planted and grew things. Production quotas were demanding, and lords were not in the habit of accepting excuses when they were missed. Skilled craftsmen may have only been beaten if they failed to meet expectations, but farmers were the ones left to struggle on reduced rations or outright starve if food production was not adequate. State bureaucrats were entirely capable of projecting reasonable outputs for each season, but were known to inflate these predictions for fear of angering the noble to whom they reported, and would shift the blame for any shortcomings onto the laborers themselves. Yeah, sounds about right. Merchants may have had the easiest lives, but they faced the ever-present danger of bandits on the road, and were not beyond the wrath of any noble who saw fault in their prices. Perhaps worst of all, any warrior's command was law to a commoner, and was to be obeyed without exception, no matter how degrading, dangerous, or even suicidal. Though the tribal warriors were always the core of Dragatone military power, commoners still played an integral role in the state's armed conflicts. From the beginning, all free subjects were expected to participate in the defense of their own local communities, and were required to arm themselves for that eventuality. Dragato did sometimes fight wars with other Dawnlands kingdoms, and peasant troops were always levied to participate in these conflicts. These levies played a lesser role in Dragato's wars against northern tribes, generally defending the encampments and supply bases, while mounted warriors handled the bulk of the fighting. But that service gave the Dragatoans their edge in those campaigns. In the later centuries of the Dawn era, kingdoms began maintaining standing armies of low-born soldiers, and Dragato was no exception to this trend. Goodness, excuse me. It has often been wondered how such an oppressive state could keep its populace armed without being swallowed up by rebels. The answer to this lies in Dragato's two-tier structure. In essence, the Dragatoan state could be regarded as a powerful tribe living on top of a weak kingdom. Dragato did actually face more frequent rebellion than any other state, but the kingdom was never a match for the tribe that ruled it. And the warriors far outmatched any commoner that could rise against them in battle. Nor were these warriors by any means slow to adopt new weapons or tactics that showed promise. In fact, they were often the fastest innovators of military methodology. Thus, it was not uncommon for a small force of Dragatoan warriors to defeat a much larger force of commoners set against them. And whenever these rebel forces were defeated, swift and severe punishment would immediately come to their families and communities. This brutally efficient suppression ensured that the populace never rose up all at once in full revolution. For many of the reasons described above, Dragato was seen throughout the Dawnlands as a flawed creation. A kingdom of swords where barbarism refused to die. Ooh, I like that. Visiting dignitaries often went home to describe the ducal and later royal palace as a place utterly devoid of beauty, terrifying in its military efficiency and the decorum of its officers, but lacking any sense of life and culture. But this view failed to recognize the strengths of the Dragatoan system, which led to its ultimate rise to power, leaving the other kingdoms shocked and unable to respond when Dragato finally entered its ascendancy. That rise to power will be the next subject of this account. Woo!
Very cool.
Very cool. Thank you for that. Always thank you for every bit of lore that you guys have put in our comments. Fun to read, really interesting to know. Oh, all right. Well, that being said, the only thing left to do is to say things about other things that have money involved. Oh my god, did you know? Did you know that money is a thing that can be exchanged for goods and services? It's crazy. Also, you can give it to us.
Yeah, so that way we can do that instead of you.
Right. So, Patreon as well as Ko-fi are both things that you can join in to support us. And if you do so, hey, you get access to our Discord, the Patreon exclusive section, or the Table Flipper exclusive section, I mean. And you get to have your name right here in front of you. Whoa! Midpoints and ends of streams for the show. And yeah, you just get a big thank you from us. It's fucking insane. So, that being said, big thank you to our tier 4s, that being Draco Kraken, Mog Zero, Rick aka Unit Rico, Slazer, and Steely. Big thank yous. And then we have our tier 2 of Lux or Neon Armok. And our tier 1 contributor, big thank you to you as well. Yeah, as little as $1, as much as 15. Same thing for both Ko-fi and Patreon. So do that if you wish. Otherwise, don't worry about it. other than that, of course, you can go over to our website and go through here and see all the stuff that I've mentioned as well as I'm going to mention, and go get our dice. Still there. I have them all over there on a shelf now. They're behind me, I think, on a shelf. And they're ready for me to send to you if you should buy them. Go for it if you would like. If not, hey, what am I gonna do? Force dice upon you? I can't do that. I live in your computer. Yeah. Other than that, of course, go over to TeePublic and get our logo on a shirt or something. Up to you. More stuff to be added to that sooner rather than later. And of course, if you use our link in the description, you can go over to Humble Bundle, and anything you purchase through Humble, whether it be the choice, whether it be any of these lovely little bundle things here, whether it be stuff on the store, I can't speak, any of this stuff, you absolutely can support us as well as Tabletop Alliance. Link in the description to find out about their charity work. There's a Myst one that's pretty cool. There's a cyberpunk looking games here. Cloudpunk Ghost Runner. Anna Mutinarium? I don't know that
Mutinationum.
Mutinationum. Okay.
Yeah, it's very weird.
Okay, cool.
Like the name, I've never played.
Yeah. I haven't heard about that. Some arcade classic or at-home arcade stuff. River City Girls and all that. Mortal Kombat 11. The Red Sonja 50th anniversary, apparently. That's a thing. Yeah, a bunch of good stuff. Nothing that is specifically tabletop related, but there have been and there will be. So keep an eye out. I think that's all of the things.
I think that's it.
I think that's everything. Okay, cool. Sorry again for those of you who have been watching the live, for the horrible bit rate that I have no idea why it's been. You'd think you just plug something in and it just works, but hey, nope. You know, it doesn't do that.
Didn't you learn anything from Todd Howard?
No, I learned nothing from that man.
Todd Howard.
That's right. So yeah, thanks everybody for hanging out. Thanks for those of you who are watching the VOD, and we'll see you next time for more stuff.
Yes.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.